Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. What's up? Figured I'd hop on. Oh, thank you so much. Tech Death Hippie has the music in the very beginning, wailing on the guitar. My intro is my stuff, then Tech Death Hippie, then Grismatically Clever, all in that intro. And then the Space Age Funky music is just the stuff from StreamYard. What's up? Please hit the like if you haven't yet, and then there's a membership link pinned to the top if you want to become a member. What's up, Kib Kitty, running errands? Be safe, and thank you. What's up, Michelle? Katie, what's up? Lisa and Cannoli, love that name. Kimberly KV, Jesse Lynn, good morning. Tammy, Marina Girl, Mud Moon, Kimberly Barnett, Katrina. Wow, I'm surprised. I know it's a last minute live. These mornings, they're always last minute. Except for the evening. We'll be back tonight. I'll be putting out the notification after the show's over. But I'm thinking probably like depending on when this one gets done, I'm thinking like 7 Central, 8 Eastern time frame. What's up, Evie? Linz? But I'll put out a notification after the show. Let you guys know what time. We'll be getting into the true crime stuff, and then I think what I might do we have our game nights on Sundays now, but Sunday evenings. But what I'm thinking about doing on Fridays, because Fridays used to be our hangout night. So I'm thinking that maybe on Fridays we'll do the true crime, and then we can end it with a couple of deal or no deal games or something. Like nothing crazy, just a couple deal or no deals or something. Maybe if there's people in the panel or something, and at the end of the show they want to play a deal or no deal or something. I think it'd be kind of neat, kind of fun. Just have a little bit at the end on Fridays, probably Saturdays too, but Saturdays are mostly for members only, or just kind of whatever. I might not even be live, but usually I am. What's up, K13 Rand? What's up, UK? A lot of people from the UK. What's up? Afternoon over there. Almost afternoon here on the East Coast. What's up, Leslie Strutter? Didn't wake up till 9 a.m. Good morning, Raj. Stacy, good morning. How are you? Cat K, Judgmental. Thank you so much for all your support here recently. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the show. So, let me see here. If anybody wants to call, you're more than welcome. I am going to get into this folder here. We're going to get it going. And let me see here. Here's that. Now I'm going to show some stuff on Twitter here. I don't know if this will look right. Let me see. No, it don't. All right. And if you want to send me anything, go ahead and send it to me at these. And if you also are a content creator, go ahead and send me some information as well. So there's all the ways you can contact me. All right. So this was from, the Architect. Great follow on Twitter. Here is the page. Late afternoon. What's up, Jonathan? This is a good follow on Twitter. About the case? What part of it, MK? Ah, cool. Let me see about the breaking news because somebody sent me some stuff right before the show started. What's up, Josie? You want to hop up? Josie, you want to hop up on panel? Here, I'll put the link out. What part of the case, MK? Really? You know? Yeah, Deal or No Deal is fun. I love it. All right, let me click on, put the sign in the window. Gotta change me a serpentine belt later today. All right. I will be on PTO in an hour. Rock on, I'm on PTO right now. I took half the day yesterday off and the whole day off today. And then it was kind of a good thing because as I'm driving home yesterday, the serpentine belt goes to shit. So I'm like, shit, I would have had to use it anyway, right? So, fuck it. What's up, Typically Unique? Back in the day. I wonder what show that is. A late night. I always wanted to be. I never really. A 2013. Oh shit, Josie. What's up, Coral Beauty? What's up? Do you want to call in? Since we missed your call last night. Honestly, no. I'm going to think about it the whole weekend. Trust me. The way that my mind works, the way that my mind works, it explores every freaking move possible. And then from every move possible, what happens in return or could happen, or like all of these, you know what I mean? Like my mind fucking explores the map of a freaking battlefield. So, and the way my mind works is I'm able to fucking pay attention to every little fucking thing that's going on all at the same time. So that's just kind of like, so when it comes to the thing about the opportunity, yeah, it's going to be the whole weekend, trust me. And it'll be right up until I fill out the paperwork where I'm just watching everything, you know, over that whole map. Just oh wow, I haven't heard of a mid-species mirage in a while. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Wiccan Yan? How you doing? Sorry if I butchered that. I'm still waking up. That's the one, Julie. Where? That's interesting. Huh. Midnight Caller? Wow. Huh. What's up, JoJo? Cassie, SRB, everybody? Midnight Caller, huh? What's up, Dolphin? Oh, cool. Thank you. Justice? Who's Justice who? Has the short that shows 4 people? Send it to me, MK. I'm headed to the bank. All right. Hold on. Let me refresh it because, you know, Google Voice, that shit's buggy. You might have called already and it didn't even tell me. Hold on. The skimmers? Yeah, send it to me if you have the link, and I will check my email. Oh no. Yeah, emergency works great. Yeah. Somebody had put it up there in the beginning here. I think it was David that put it up there. 2 packets. Whew, that's a lot. Yeah, Ether. Would you like to? I was meaning to ask you. Let me see. All right, Google Voice is working if you wanted to call. What's up, Tabby Cat? Let me go to the breaking, and I'll go ahead and get into that first, because it is open topics. If you guys want to talk about another case, we can talk about another case too. I was mainly going to go into Idaho, but at the same time, we can talk about some other cases too. Let me see if I can find a live press conference. Let me see here. All right, I don't see nothing on the live section. I'll get back to chat here in a second. Sorry, when I'm looking for this stuff, I can't see chat. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Fox News. All right, let me get back to chat real quick. Let me get back to sharing this. All right. So much to do with a live show. All right, there we go.
The Lieutenant Mercedes Colwin, Fox News legal analyst, and welcome to both of you. Joe, why if they have the murderer?
Yeah, Josie.
Why?
The one in Pennsylvania is still out running around, and there's some stuff on that too, if you guys want me to go into that as well.
Joe Carnell is a retired NYPD Lieutenant Mercedes Colwin, Fox News legal analyst, and
yeah, he's been on the run for days.
Joe, why if they have the murderer in custody, why has this case been so difficult to solve?
Well, because first of all, the evidence is slowly coming in, and they were stymied in the beginning of it. I believe the new police commissioner started the task force along with the Suffolk DA, Ray Tierney, and they put a lot of effort into this, and they kept everything close to the vest, which is the way to do it. A lot of tips came in. You have to sort through those tips, and the information comes in. You have to find out which information is bona fide. And the fact that they moved on this and made an arrest, I believe they have a very good suspect, and they have a very good case against this suspect.
Mercedes, I mean, this case has captured the imagination of a lot of people for a long time. We talked to a police officer today who said they never thought it would be solved. Looks like finally there is some resolution. what do you remember about this case over the years as it's been covered pretty exhaustively in all sorts of different mediums?
You know, a lot of the families came forward because these are all very young women, all in their 20s. The families came forward. They were very adamant about, don't forget our family members. Maybe they led a life that you felt should be judged, but really these are young women. They were hardworking women. These are women that should not be forgotten. And that was really the focus. I thought that was a very good, well, obviously that spoke volumes about the family's dedication to finding who the killers were. They were probably behind the scenes, pretty active, trying to help law enforcement to find that killer. And frankly, thankfully, they have the body. So there has to be so much DNA evidence that could link this suspect ultimately. Once this goes on, we'll see a lot more when we see the affidavit.
Let me write this down because this is Pequea Park, New York, Suffolk County, Go Beach, SKs, infamous. Now 48 Hours did an episode on it. When was that? They did an episode on it. I thought it was recently.
This afternoon. Apparently the affidavit will be disclosed. We'll know a lot more of the details. But what's most frightening and pretty consistent with a lot of serial killers, they lead normal lives. These are individuals that walking amongst the community, sometimes very fruitful members of the community, hardworking individuals, yet they have this double life that could lead to, obviously, these horrors.
And Mercedes, right before we came on the air, we were asked a question here in the studio as to why serial killers stop killing at a certain date. Now, if all these deaths are linked to the same person with this DNA, that would raise the question in this case as well. How do you answer that when you study serial killers?
That's such a great question. Some of it is because there is obviously...
Hold on 1 second. Oh, it's hard to switch when I don't know I'm getting it. It's hard to switch when I don't know a call's coming in. Sorry. Let me see. I was just going to wait till the video was over, but you can call again. The ringer's working. I'll wait 30 seconds and then I'm just going to shut it off until the video's done. And then I'll open up the calls again. So if you want to call in, I'll give you 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to the video and just shut the phone off until the video's over. I probably should have did that already, though. No, go ahead. Or what? Are you... No, I'm waiting. You can call. I was waiting for you to call back. I just, if I'm not expecting a call, I have to like do like 4 things to get back to that part, to be able to do that. So that's why I was like literally like a ring away from being able to pick up your call. I had actually got to the screen to pick it up, like split second too late. Do you want me to wait or? Or just when you're done with the bank, call if you want. I have to be more better when it comes to like switching between the do not and open kind of thing. That's my bad. I apologize. All right, let me get back to this video here. 1 second.
It's such a great question. Some of it is because there is obviously this need to kill, this impulse to kill. That might be satisfied over time. But as Dana said, this had such intense media attention. Presumably, the killer realized that there's a lot of media attention, which means a lot of law enforcement attention. The families were very vocal that maybe he should stop so he won't be caught. He or she, we don't know. We believe that it's a he, but ultimately that's probably what stopped a lot of these murders. Just the fact that he might be caught.
You know, however, Joe, if we go back to you, maybe he didn't stop. I mean, there are unsolved murders in Suffolk County.
Right.
Absolutely, and the fact that there's so many different bodies that were recovered along that strip by Gilgo Beach. You know, they had a baby, they had a male that was found over there. So, you know, it may have well been a dumping ground, just like we had in Brooklyn over in the Canarsie area. So it could very well be that. But I think Mercedes is correct when she says that the evidence is going to be coming in ways of DNA, and the way we have technology today, they can actually tie a lot of these cases together. And I think they were very methodical in doing revisiting the case the way they did this time. So I think you will see other cases possibly tie into this. And in answer to the other thing, why he stopped doing it, he is getting the attention because of the media attention that's been given to this. Because
hold on, is North Amityville? Is that where that Amityville Amityville horror thing? Is that where that's at? Or is that a different Amityville? North Amityville? That's at like the very bottom tip of New York. Oh, wow. What's up, Yoli? What's up, cowboy?
Into this, and in answer to the other thing, why he stopped doing it, he is getting the attention because of the media attention that's been given to this because of the families and everything. So that probably stymied him for a little while. And now we're going to see what happens with putting all these cases together to tie it into this individual, or there may be individuals.
It is an extraordinary thing in modern media today when you can have podcasts, I should say, on crimes or Netflix documentaries, as I mentioned, that help investigators raise the attention for unsolved cases. And they take that information and they figure out in the end what the answer is. Joe, thank you. Mercedes, thanks to you. Appreciate the input. We'll see what we get.
Huh, so it was by that. That's, whoa. I've still never seen that movie yet. My dad used to scare us driving by it. We have a lot of family. Oh, wow. Huh. All right, give me 1 second here. Yeah, you can call back, Dolphin. No, it's my bad. Here, let me open it back up. It's hard, like when I kind of have to, there's like 4 things I have to do in order to get it to switch. And it, for everybody's safety as well, because The reason I have to do all the switches is to make sure that it's just the call and that's it. You know what I mean? So it's for all y'all's comfort. Yeah, what's up? All right, let me get to the folder here. Harsh has a new video out too. Yeah, like I don't know. I've always wanted to work on radio. I never even thought about being in front of a camera. It was always just about being behind a microphone. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do a YouTube show, I might as well have a camera too. So it's always about the microphone though. I don't know. I just, I enjoy conversation. I enjoy knowledge. I enjoy different opinions. I enjoy exploring different thoughts, you know. So yeah, let me see. Oh, okay. 48 minutes ago, 48 hours has a full episode on the hunt for the Long Island cereal, you know. But I don't think I can play that. I think I will get in trouble for that. Now, Harsh Reality has a new video. Let me see. Truth and Transparency. Sarah Boone. That's a crazy case. Sarah Boone. Remember, we covered that like last year for a little bit. That was nuts. What else we got? Grub Truck. I think I'm gonna do Grub Truck Sunday morning. I'm gonna watch the whole 4.5 hour Grub Truck. I think I'm gonna do that Sunday morning and just Sunday afternoon, and then I'll be back Sunday evening for the Hangout game show. Mallory Beach. That's going to be something that we'll be covering coming up here soon. So we'll also be covering that. I'm just kind of looking through everything. Okay, so I'm going to go back a day ago. All right. Actually, I'm going to go back 3 days ago because I enjoy Harsh's videos. Don't be shocked. This is pretty much, I mean, we were even discussing it last night, just the different, you know, the different ways he could be guilty, and the different ways that he'd be innocent just based off of what exists or what doesn't from the documents. So Harsh made a video a couple of days ago about don't be shocked. Then there's some other stuff we'll be going into. If there's any other case you want to talk about too, just let me know and I'll put the link to the panel here in chat in a second. Good morning, everybody.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. And this is video 2 of 2. You know the drill. I'm going to get straight into the meat and potatoes because I'm conscious it's Monday. You guys have probably got stuff to do. You don't want to be lingering around. So we're going to be talking about, very briefly, Bryan Kohberger specifically, and the specific argument of innocent versus guilty.
Well,
okay.
We're going to be.
What I'm going to say to that is this:
J is for Justice is going to be. J for Justice is going to be doing a, or she already has one actually. She did a Grub Truck live stream, and I believe that it has. Let me look at it. I believe that it has the chat feed with it. That's what they were saying last night. I believe it has the chat feed with it. And that's the one I'm going to be going through. Not the full one, but I'm going to be going through the one with the chat feed as well. I might... I wonder if I could do this. Maybe what I'll... It would be nice to be able to go from full screen to chat feed version. So maybe what I'll do is I'll try and have 2 playing at the same time, one full, one with the chat, so we can switch back and forth. Maybe we'll go full screen. I don't know. Man, you almost have to have somebody watching full screen and somebody watching the chat, you know, because you got, who says that there's not conversations going on in the chat? But you also have to look at the background too. What's up, Randy? Good morning. I don't know. DVD. Yes, we'll be getting to that one too. This one is from a few days ago that I wanted to check out.
Hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. And this is video 2 of 2. You know the drill. I'm going to get straight into the meat and potatoes because I'm conscious it's Monday. You guys have probably got stuff.
We can
to
check
do.
out.
You don't want to be lingering around.
You can check out that Boone video too here. It's different cases as well, not just Idaho.
So we're going to be talking about, very briefly, Bryan Kohberger specifically, and the specific argument of innocent versus guilty. Okay? And what I'm going to say to that is this. We have got into a situation already, pre-trial, where people either have him convicted or have him innocent. 100% as well. This isn't there are people who are on the fence. There are 100% people who are on the fence. I've always considered personally that Bryan Kohberger was connected somehow, but my issue is believing that he'd done it completely on his own. I just felt that for this crime to have happened in this manner and get away, there was a massive issue with the knife sheath potentially being left behind. But if you take that away, if you take that one element away, there is no case. The one thing that connected could have potentially be an accident. And we're going to put a pin in that because that specific point is exactly what I want to bring up later in this video.
You don't know.
But
it's so crazy.
The point being is that we have a situation where people either have him 100% pinned or 100% not pinned. And I want people to understand that you can't be shocked if this goes either way. So if you are 100% that he is guilty, then you can't be shocked or surprised if he is found not guilty.
Right.
And as equally, if you 100% have him not guilty and believe that this was a setup, this was, you know, he was framed. Even me, I believe that someone did it with him or he did it, orchestrated something. If that turns out to be wrong, we can't be shocked either. We can't be shocked. And why is that? It's because we do not know anything. Mm-hmm. On the grander scheme of things, we feel that we have a lot of information. And we feel like that because of channels like mine, who I come out and I speak about this case every day, and there's the multiple channels that are covering it as well. And it gives people an illusion that there is so much information, when in fact we've got little pieces of information that have been, the word for the day is fragmented, or fragmentation, fragments. You know, broken down into smaller bite-sized chunks. Now, the reason I do that is because I appreciate where people, if you give them a load of information, lots and lots of things across these long, drawn-out videos, things get lost in translation. Whereas if you just do it and get to the point and make it so it's your video is short and specifically focusing on a point, like video 1 today, where we talk specifically about, and it literally took minutes, about the Wi-Fi situation with Brian Koberger and potentially connecting to Wi-Fi at 1122 King Road. If people are given that information in amongst an abundance of other stuff, then things get lost. And that's what's happened in this case. Things have got lost. And there is information still floating around out there that people still feel are accurate pieces of information. And that is applicable to both sides of the argument. Like, we don't know that, or we have heard that there is no connection between the students, the victims, and the accused. There isn't, and we've seen documentation where Ann Taylor has stipulated that there is no link. You've provided no link between my client and the victims. So from our perspective as people who think there might be a little bit more to that, that's like an ace in the hole for us, because we will turn around and say, well, there's no connection. They've shown no connection. The flip side of that coin is, if they have something else that renders that piece of information pointless, we don't need to show a connection.
The sheet does need to be explained, like how, like we've been asking, how did you get to be, like how is BK's, like, when did BK's DNA get on the sheet? How? There's so many different possibilities. Just because that exists, I mean, hell, you listen to CC Moore. There's so many possibilities that could have taken place. It doesn't mean that he did the crime, in my opinion. It doesn't. That's why we've been talking about the innocent until proven guilty. That's why people are ridiculing when you know, don't follow the 100% guilty no matter what. None of us, like Harsh is saying, and I've been saying, we ain't talking to Billy at the fucking water cooler. We don't know.
Prior to either way, we just need to prove that he did it.
Either way,
doesn't need to be a connection. He could have just randomly this night.
That's why it's
walked into any house. The fact of the matter is this could have been completely random.
Get over here.
There could have been no rhyme, no reason. It could have literally been a shot in the dark. Just went there and went into a house, and it could have been any house and anybody in it. And it just happened to be this house, right, and the rest is history. And that could be the case.
Right.
We seem to always want motive. We want the connection. We want to know what happened in the lead up to it. And that's our curious and inquisitive.
The sheath exists. BK's DNA is on it. 20 skin cells. So it exists. Why does it exist? That's the question. Because with how it could have got there, or the different possibilities of being able to explain why it exists, that's where the reasonable doubt is. That's what we need to know before we can say anybody's innocent or guilty. Because there's too many possibilities of it being guilty, too many possibilities of it being innocent when it comes to that.
And that won't ever change. But the reality is, there just might not be one. He might have been so good at covering his tracks that there is no link. He might have been watching from afar. So the point being, we can't be surprised if this case goes one way or the other. But what we need to hope happens is, in the event of an outcome, that outcome is shown to be the right outcome. So I think there may come a time when people have to dump a lot of what they think they know.
Yeah.
The recordings they've seen, the audio they've heard, and the relevance that they've given it into this situation.
Right. And honestly, some of us might even have to be deleting some of our episodes. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, I've done plenty of episodes on BK being guilty. I've done plenty of episodes on BK being innocent. And if he does get set free, I'm gonna be taking some videos down. You know, like it's crazy.
The reality is, it just may not have any relevance. And what should remain important and at the forefront of your mind is that we have
That's
four
a good
victims,
question, MK.
and we have an
What
accused.
is the motive, right?
And we have the people around their peripherals. And it's very important.
I don't know. I don't think it's the whole incel stuff. That's just my opinion. Because, I don't know. I would feel if you would have to have confidence in order to be able to be achieving. You got to have the drive and the confidence to be able to be achieving what he was achieving when it came to the academics. Overcoming an addiction of a very addictive substance, overcoming that, and then focusing all the energy on the academics, and then what you were accomplishing with the academics. I don't see the incel theory. I don't see, you can be socially awkward. You can be about the academics. It doesn't mean that ladies or males or whoever isn't gonna like you. I mean, if anything, a successful person is gonna attract somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion with the whole incel theory. I just don't think it is connected with him.
Important that this system and this process works.
I don't
to protect them all. That if Brian didn't do this, that he is protected, and this system enables him to show and prove that he did not do this crime. And in the event that he did, and that he is found guilty, shown that he is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and there is indeed justice that prevails at the end. But I just want to say, don't be shocked, whatever the outcome. Because if you take truly into consideration what we know, not what's being convoluted and embellished and conjecture and speculation, but what we truly know.
The two IDs that were connected to the roommates, remember those?
We know very little.
The two IDs.
Yes, we have all these fantastic and fantastical stories. But step back and look in for a second. And what do we really know?
Yeah. That's why I'm going to be going into that full freaking grub truck probably Sunday morning. Sometime this weekend, I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be sitting back watching the whole freaking thing. So it'll probably be a 5 or 6 hour episode, 4.5 hours for the full grub truck. Probably stop, chat for a minute during some spots, probably rewind maybe a few times. So I'm thinking, 4.5 hours for the episode, then an hour and a half to account for all the pauses and chit chat. just with, the actual video. I'm thinking it'll be that long. I don't know. I might have to do that on maybe tomorrow night. Man, because that will be a long show. It'd probably be at least minimum 5.5. 6. Could be even 6.5. I don't know. It'll be a long one, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Phantasmic. That's what I need to fucking name the members. What's up, Sarah? Thank you for your tweets. I appreciate the information. Steve, Brian was blackmailed. I used to do a lot of that. I'd go on drives in the middle of the night, late night, early ass morning, just go on drives with the windows down. And just hit the road and just not even have the radio on. Just the windows down, the fresh air, clear thoughts. That's why I love the highway so much. It may take that's true too. That is true too. What's up, Sussin? Let me see here. Downey, Adam, staying by the jam. Yeah, what's up, everybody coming in? I also believe that's why minimal DNA was found. Could have touched. Yeah. Yeah, like, or, what if he just wiped his, like, it could be like this. You just wipe your hands on your shirt, and then somebody throws it at you and it hits your shirt where you wiped your hand and you didn't even touch it. It could happen that way. There's so many freaking possibilities of no. We watch his videos. He's awesome. I love really motivated. Yeah. Now, what's up, Pagan? I like, if I gotta clear my head, I just keep the radio down. I just the and then it's almost like one of those those sound CDs or whatever, where it's like calm ocean breeze, and it plays some calm ocean breeze. But all right, so let me see here. You guys wanted to watch the Sarah Boone shit, huh? Damn, Court TV is always loud as hell. Or do you want to watch? Oh, wait. No. Let's go to this other harsh video that's talking about that CD. Yes. Sounds for Sleep. That's right. Yeah, we'll go. I got that Court TV video about Sarah Boone. And a whole bunch of other stuff too, to do an episode on her sometime too. Let me see, where's that video? And are you guys familiar with this chaos sector? A lot of people are sending me links to chaos sector. Man, that frickin' Powerball jackpot, 1.4 billion. Come on. Where is it? Where's that CD video? And then he has a new video about Harsh. Where is it? There it is, DVD. All right, we'll stick to harsh and then we'll get to the other stuff. Oops. Come on. Come on.
Hey, Dave, that Koberger, it's legal team. They're back on the phone. They want proof again. They want proof. They just keep wanting proof of anything.
Yeah,
Anyone think this guy's life was on the line?
Yeah, it's
keep
time to
asking
go
us
buy
prove
some
what we're
lottery
saying.
tickets.
You know, we got this DVD, but there's nothing on it. There's absolutely nothing on it. So I can't send it to him. So what do I do? Just send a picture of it. Yeah, I suppose I could. If I put a proof sticker on it,
Yeah, I'll open
and
up
just
the call line after
take
this
a
video.
picture and like proof. Yeah, that went well. So yes, there has been a document drop. Been a document drop. What do you think to that then? Been more documents going into the Idaho4 case, and there's a pattern. There's definitely a pattern in the Idaho4 case.
I'd be doing this show Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Of things getting asked for and people not giving them. That's the general gist of it. No, I'm not a professional, as I keep saying. I'm not a professional. I don't know how this all works, but I would imagine that when it's a case that someone's life is on the line, if the defense says, right, so you're saying that our guy here, Mr.
I like Mind Shock too. A lot of very interesting videos, that's for sure.
Brian Koberger was seen driving in this area. Could we have the proof, please?
What's that?
Certainly. And you think that is kind of how that conversation would go, but that's not seemingly how it's going. All we're seeing here, even in this latest information, is that there is consistently a situation where something happened. There wasn't a report done. There was no record of it. There was no kind of, when they arrested him, no video evidence.
Isn't this crazy? This is like repeated here. There's, okay, it's time to like show your cards here. And you're like laying one card down at a time because it's like, I don't know. It's like you don't have shit. So you're like going, you know, you were playing the whole time like you had a straight or something. And now you're like going, damn, I just have a pair with a king high. There's one. Just wait for it. It's coming. Just wait for it. It's, come on.
Of it. No video evidence of it at all. We see in this new documentation there was a phone call. He had a phone call and spoke with someone. That weren't recorded either. So now you've got to guess on whether, okay, so was this phone call before he was arrested and he'd just agreed to have a chat with some random on the phone? Or was it after he was arrested and he agreed to have some chat with some random on the phone? Was he...
You know what I'm saying?
Do you see what I mean? And what do you notice? This is something that when this case very first started, right at the beginning, why?
That's what I was saying when they were going, when they put in for the deep, or you know, the DP. That was like I was saying, they had a pair with a king high, but they were betting the whole time, like they, you know, like they had these cards, and then that DP was them just kind of going all in, right? Like all their chips. They're like, you know what? We got this. We're pushing all our chips in, all in. Now we're at the point where they're like looking at their fucking cards and they have to start showing them. The betting's already done. They got to start showing them. We got one card. Didn't really have much. Another card. It's not looking. You were betting really strong, and it's not looking like those cards are strong.
Way back, and we was looking at Moscow PD and the amount of arrests there were, and what was the common thread through all that? No report, no report, no report, no report.
Natalie B.
Mass murderer
baby
kills 4 students in home. No report. Ain't gonna fucking wash, man, is it? What is wrong? What is wrong with this fucking place? If you want to go to court and you want to
It's a good song.
put someone to death for doing a crime,
Both versions.
then you have to prove it. You have to prove what you're saying. You can't just... And that video, what I was just talking about, that CD situation, that is something that's actually in that doc. We sent them a picture of the DVD labelled load of shite. How is that? How is that? How is that? How is this a real thing? I can't get my head around it. Okay, this is almost like if I told my kids to play courtroom.
It's a fucking movie. That's what I'm saying. It's like a fucking movie, and it's not. It's like the fucking the way that, and I'm not talking. I'm talking about like the way the prosecution is here. It's like a fucking movie. And it's like it's a low budget fucking movie. It's not even a movie that goes to theaters. It's a movie that hits the fucking, well, used to be Blockbuster or whatever, the video shelves, that kind of term. Like it didn't go straight to the theaters. It just went to fucking Tubi, fucking, all those free sites, right? The independent shit, all those free sites. It probably would end up on YouTube movies for free as well, where you don't even get in trouble for playing them. I mean, come on.
And this is the kind of shit that they would do as children. That's the stuff that they would do. And I ain't even kidding. This is a joke. This is becoming a joke. Like, we're seeing that things are now kind of being handed over reluctantly around the phone situation. They've asked for the phone data. Not all of it would appear, but some stuff.
They can't fold at this point. They've already, with that DP, they pushed all their chips in. Now they're at a point where they got to show. They could have folded before the DP. But no, that DP, they pushed all them chips in. Now they're at a point they can't fold. They just got to show their cards, because it's time to see who has the chips. And we're in the middle of them showing what their hand is. And
that they were reluctant to give is starting to come through after they've been seemingly had to be explained why it's important to, again, obtain supportive information when you're making a statement or a claim. But the big sticking point is still this car. And if you saw my videos yesterday, I believe that if I didn't, that's only because my brain is a mess and I forgot to do it. But I don't even think this is about the knife sheath anymore. That knife sheath ain't important. In my eyes, it ain't important. It's touch DNA.
See what I'm saying?
There's so much going on around this area that touch DNA could have got on there anyhow. I'm not. The big thing now is the car.
Very low budget.
The big argument, the sticking point of this entire trial is that damn car. Because you've got a situation where law enforcement, first of all, are looking for a car that doesn't match Brian's car. And you would think if they have done their research and they're putting this information out to the public, then they are putting the correct information out. You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so. But lo and behold, something happens somewhere along the line and it snaps. And it's like, no, we're not actually looking for that one. We were looking for his car. And it just so happens that he drives the one that we was looking for. But that's not it. They were hoping that no one fucking noticed, I think. But we did notice. And now people want answers. And Taylor is specifically saying, I want to know what flipped the switch on you going from looking at this car to looking at my client's car. That's what I want to see. I want to see that information. And I don't just want you to say, well, we told you. Well, we didn't tell you. We sent you a picture of the bit of paper it was written on. Take our words for it, because that's what we're going to do with the jury as well. This is where all
that Christmas stocking that's hanging on the fireplace that has a bunch of rolled up paper in it, where you think as a kid there's Hot Wheels and Kit Kats and gumballs and basketball cards and all sorts of different games, dice, just different things, small stuff. They just wrapped it all up. Here's this Christmas stocking. And then you look in it and you're like, oh shit. It's like those presents that you would get at Christmas where people would like get a really big box and make you think it was like a frickin' TV or something. But then you open it up and there's like a cinder block or two in it with a penny taped to it. You know what? It's like, hold on a minute. What? You open it, it's like, damn, this is heavy. You know, you're moving it around on the floor. You're opening it up. You're fucking tearing it open. You see the box. You're like, oh my gosh, it's a freaking TV. You're all excited. You get you cut it open and then you open it up and there's two fucking cinder blocks with a penny. That kind of shit. You know what I mean? The Christmas stocking with rolled up, crunched up paper in it.
All the proof is in here.
Not fair.
Trust us. You don't want to see it, but it's there. How is that? I don't understand how this is happening. I don't understand what is actually going through their fucking minds in this case.
It doesn't make.
What do you think? What is actually going on? What is going on? We've got a crime scene that was definitely contaminated,
right.
100% contaminated. Right. You can't fucking make them.
And as soon as they pulled up, they didn't even block off the parking lot first. Cars parked all over the place, people putting booties on, like all sorts of shit. People walking all over, people coming up, parking here. Then they move it out. It's like from the get-go, I don't even think it, like when they come out and first said it was a self-unalive situation, the community didn't have anything to worry about. I don't think they... Okay. When you think it's that, are you going to do the proper precautions that you need to do from that point on with the crime scene if you think that it was a self-contained situation and then it becomes, okay, nope, sorry. Then you have to open it up. So don't you start from outside and then go in? The contamination all over the place from the outside and the inside.
Bones about it. And if you think back to the John Bennett Ramsey case, that's pretty much what happened in that one. That's why that case never got fucking solved, because law enforcement fucked that up right from the start. And then you've got a situation with this where they knackered that entire crime scene. Knackered it. Now you've got a situation where they were looking for one car, they're now looking for another car, and it just so happens that he had that car. They're rummaging through the parents' bins for fucking DNA, and lo and behold, they find a knife sheath has got touch DNA. They have to go through this entire convoluted process.
Strutter.
And every time they ask for something, they don't get it, or they get this latest thing, which is we're going to send you a picture of what that appears on, and you're just going to have to take our word for it. And I don't think that's going to wash with Ann Taylor. I genuinely don't think that's going to wash. And this is going to get to the point where this is going to reach a tipping point, and people are going to kick off.
What's up, buddy?
We know that there has just been a stay on the case. They're going to delay it's not the entire case, so things will carry on going, but it's relevant to the time with which is relevant to the speedy trial. So they basically paused that aspect of it to give the defense time to go through some other information that they had to fucking wait for. You just think it was simple, wouldn't you? You just think that the law in any country would be simple. Someone does something or they're accused of doing something. Let's go thrash it out. I'm going to show you why I think this person done it. Mm-hmm. You tell us what you think about what we say. And if we can come to some, if you can explain all this shit, then you obviously didn't do it and we'll look for someone else.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But there's so much crap that I can't work out, and there's now a guy's life on the line. And I know the sad fact is that this is relevant to a load of victims. There's 4 young victims who also lost their lives. And this This whole process is making a mockery out of it, a complete mockery out of it. And talking about,
and not to mention that, but plus what it does to the perception of the justice system. Not only what he just said, but on top of that, you have a lot of young people that are the future that are seeing this as different points and stages of their lives, that they're going to be future lawyers, judges, jury members, potential victims, or accused. It just puts a bigger, dirtier stain on the whole. You know, when you can't even believe in the justice system or the Constitution, what do you believe in? It's a lot more damaging than I think people really freaking realize. It's like the Northern Lights. Those were a lot more damaging than people realize. Yeah, they're beautiful when you see the Northern Lights in freaking Arizona, right? But it's a hell of a lot more damaging when you see them in all these other places that you normally don't see the Northern Lights. Because every time that shit's coming in, that's some major shit to our atmosphere. And it's not good. Nothing we can do about it. It's just Mother Nature. But there is some ugly shit. All right, so let me open up my phone. I know somebody was wanting to call. Give me 1 second. I gotta refresh it here too. Make sure it's working. All right, there we go. All right, you're more than welcome to call in if you wanted to call in. I know somebody was wanting to call in. There we go. Is it gonna pick up?
Call from
Pagan.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. To accept.
Good morning, afternoon, Pagan. What's up?
Hey, do you remember the case of the West Memphis 3?
The what? The West what?
The West Memphis 3?
No.
With Damien Echols, that happened back in the 90s, where 3 young teenagers got accused of murdering 3 young 8-year-old boys in the woods. And they got, the one guy, Damien Echols, was on death row for 18 plus years before he got free. The 3 guys actually were able to get out of prison on that Alford plea. And a lot of people like Johnny Depp, Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam helped them get free out of jail. But the thing is, I ran across, because I like Damien Echols, the guy that was accused of this murder actually has a YouTube channel to this present date. He was interviewed again within the last 4 months, and he was talking about how they're finding out now the FBI was involved in this, the cops were involved with this, and how dirty they were.
Whoa.
And DNA, and how the DNA now is coming around, and he's trying to put pressure on them to do a DNA test to give them to not have the Alford plea, basically have that expunged, to prove that these kids did not do this like over 30 years ago. And here's the other ironic thing that I think is kind of weird, how people are talking about how Brian Koberg, you know, how everybody's judging him in the court, right? They're saying how he's sitting, how he's smiling, whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, remember, back 30 years ago, we didn't have like Twitter, YouTube, none of that. Well, back then, Damien Echols, in this interview that he's having with a guy named Tim, it's either Tim Pool or Tom Pool, and he was talking about how in the news, every little move these kids were making as the court case was going on, they were saying, oh, he's guilty because he's moving this way, or he's guilty because he looks too stoic for it and everything. And this is a time when, like, the satanic panic was going on as well. So, of course, they were judging Damien Echols because he liked his black clothes, Metallica, and all that. But I think it would be very interesting. I don't know how you would be able to do this. It's a little over a 2-hour conversation the host is having with Damien Echols, right?
Okay.
And it would, I think the elements, if you look at the elements of this case of 30 years ago, bring it into present day, it's almost like if you shut your eyes, you would think they're talking about this case now, because you know how everybody's fighting over the DNA, the touch DNA, and how everybody's talking about, like I told you, the body language. They're judging Brian on his body language, and of course Damien Echols and the two other people that were caught up in this came from like a low income place of a trailer park, and how everybody was judging them on that as well. And that's why they didn't get, you know, he feels like he probably didn't get good representation. But then you have the flip side of Brian Kohlberger's case, where everybody, oh, he must have done it because he's this college kid that's studying criminology. So it's like really weird how, I don't know what word I'm looking for.
Parallel.
But yeah. That, you know, here you're judging somebody that has this. Yeah, like you're judging this guy because he has the smarts, the brains, and the education. But then on the other side, they were judging them because of where they came from, what music they were listening to. You know, and they were judging like the body language, like I said, how they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And what's really good about it is you're hearing the words out of Damien Echols' own mouth, the guy that was actually prosecuted, that sat on death row for 18 years. And he tells you about how he was feeling being judged by these people. And you got to understand that, you know, these guys were only like 17 years old back then when he got put into death row.
What year did this take place?
In the 90s. And it was like 30. He spent 18 years.
West Memphis.
The three of them. Yeah, the West Memphis 3. They have all kinds of documentaries on it, like Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
HBO picked it up.
Really?
It was a big infamous case. Oh yeah. And how the town, this is the other similarity. The town, like, you know how everybody's talking about, oh, he's going to be judged in Moscow because it's such a small town. They need to move the case somewhere else. Well, the same thing with this West Memphis 3. And you know how people said when we first seen him the first court date, we noticed that he had a bulletproof vest. Brian did, right? Well, here's these young teenagers wearing bulletproof vests too. That's how. Whoa. I mean, it's crazy. If you look, and now, like I said, yeah, even back then.
Wow. Okay.
And how the town turned on these 3 kids and everything. But what's really, like I said, what's really good is I have followed this case for many, many years, and I'm so thankful these guys are finally getting, it's very slow creeping justice, but the corruption of the cops and the FBI and the politicians that were in that town. It's just really ironic that, we're talking about the corrupt cops and how they did stuff to the college kids, like taking their pictures.
Yeah.
Their ID.
Weird stuff.
It's just, but 30 years earlier, because the cops, one of the cops was actually in the West Memphis 3 was got busted for child molestation.
Really?
Yeah.
What channel? And you said like movie stars and rock stars were what did they do?
Involved
fund and do the research.
The Innocent Project, I believe, got involved with it as well.
Wow.
Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, Johnny Depp. I even think Metallica, because Damien Echols liked Metallica. So a lot of people were pulling, because when you look at the case, you'll see it don't make no sense or rhyme either. I mean, you could see there was a lot of, I mean, even the most the most, I don't want to use the word undereducated, but the person that don't really know any type of knowledge about law or anything, if you just sat there and listened to the stuff, because they even have the old footage of the court case where the kids are sitting in, the judge is talking to them. It's a very interesting documentary. And I think it would be kind of neat, being that you take back, like I said, 30 years ago, and bring it into the new version of today. And it's still being talked about. They're still digging into this case to get these guys, because like I said, an Alford plea where that helps that town, so that the 3 kids can't sue that town for locking them up illegally. Basically, they got ramrodded. Wow. So they for 18 years they lost their lives.
Right? Yeah, in a big part, because your brain is still developing even at that age, and that's those years is what transforms the rest into becoming what you ultimately will be becoming in the future. It kind of that's your foundation for when your house is built.
And Damien Echols, and that's weird that you touch on that, because Damien Echols will tell you in this interview, this newest interview that came out 4 months ago, that because he was in solitary confinement, that because he never really got the sunlight, his eyes are been affected, his brain, like he'll be talking in middle sentence, he'll tell you, he'll forget completely what he's talking about. Like he has interruption in his brain because of how he was mistreated for those times being on death row. I mean, horrible. This was a 17-year-old boy on death row. They were wanting to kill him. He said, this town wanted to kill me. And this is how, like, we see how we are as viewers of these YouTube channels. And you see how some of them are like ramrods of wanting to kill Brian right off the bat without really doing any critical thinking, where then you got the other side that has more critical thinking, like Harsh and you and, Jules and everything. Yeah, there's a possibility. We don't have 100%.
I just look at it. What if it was me? Like if I didn't commit it and all this stuff was used against me to put me in the same position, I would hope some dude on fucking YouTube that doesn't even have a degree, that's just doing this out of the goodness of his heart. You know, I would want that person to be doing, you know, to be looking into stuff that doesn't make sense and all this other stuff, because to say that these things don't exist is naive. That's having, you know, these when you're walking and you're driving, you're missing a whole bunch of scenery on the left and on the right that could determine what you decide for your future. And that's what you're missing out on.
This is one thing I think the reason why I brought this up to you is because I honestly believe if there was some way that maybe you'd have to stop every 30 seconds and make it transformative, this thing, you know, even break it down in 2 days, like an hour one day and an hour, because you are literally hearing the words out of somebody that truly has gone through this.
Mm-hmm.
Damien Echols has truly went through this whole ordeal. And how do they come about his name as well? That's the other thing, that similarity too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even have the profile that Brian Koberger had, but the FBI, the cops, and the politicians were very corrupt in this as well. I mean, the only difference is that there were 3 young kids that died. There was 4 young college kids that died, where there was only one. So far, we only have the one supposedly suspect of Brian Koberger, where 3 and one of the kids that were supposedly involved in this murder, he actually had an IQ of like 72, which is mentally delayed. And they still didn't, they ramrodded him. They were able to get him to confess. They took advantage of a disadvantaged child, basically.
I have a question. Do you ever get on panels?
No.
You don't? Would you ever be interested in getting on a panel? Because I mean, that is a great idea to like, it's a wonderful idea that you have to compare the two. And, you know, you sound very knowledgeable with the case, the similarities and everything. If you would be comfortable, I would love, because I can't be able to screen share the phone call and, you know, videos and articles and things like that. So if you'd ever be comfortable hopping up on panel, I'd love to have you on.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't have the technology. And right now I'm going through a point where I don't even have a computer. I have low vision problems where I can't hardly see my phone. So I listen to you guys.
Oh, okay.
Through my phone.
Well, you just use your phone for the StreamYard as long as you have.
Okay. I just don't feel comfortable doing that.
That's fine.
But what I'm saying is, I'm giving you like this last podcast that happened only 4 months ago.
Okay.
And I mean, like I said, there is so many interviews, and they even have like 3 years after. I mean, you would be shocked on how much stuff is out on this case, because it was, I mean, it's still talked about this to this day. And I mean, they're trying to still get, like I said, Damien Echols has had his own YouTube channel for a long time now. I believe
Do you know what it's
he
called?
actually,
does anybody
look under Damien Echols. Just look under Damien Echols. And he's very, very educated, and they ask questions like, how did you keep what sanity you have left, knowing that any day that you were facing death, and you knew in your heart of hearts that you did not commit this crime. He studied a lot. He learned a lot of philosophy. He's very highly intelligent. I mean, he's something, like I said, this would be a perfect time for you to be able to break down. Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, compare.
Maybe you could get advice from another YouTuber how you can make this a transformable where you can have
just look into it live. You know, I'll just explore it myself. If if there's nobody else, it's fine. I'll start.
I mean, they even made movies about this. There was a movie that came out called The Devil's Knot.
Shit, I'd like to have him on if he has his own YouTube channel.
He does.
Hop on over, buddy. Let's talk. Talk to me about. Let's put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I appreciate your call. Like, I didn't know anything about it or anything, and my mind is blown right now. You make me want to, like, after we're done with this call, you make me want to drop everything that I have written down and just straight up go to this case. No lie.
I mean, it's amazing.
This is crazy.
Amazing how our justice system. I mean, we might have been more naive back then because we don't have the technology that we have now, where we could actually see where there's so much news 24 hours a day now. We're back 30 years ago, usually at 11, 12 o'clock at night, you got a snow screen like, good night, America, bye-bye, for whatever the morning time again. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, I'm like almost 60 years old. I remember at a certain time, the TV would actually turn into snow. It wasn't like a constant.
Yeah, at a certain time. Yeah, you'd see the national anthem outro, and then it would just cut.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays, I mean, you got computers, you got all these media outlets like YouTube, Twitter, all these things that 24 hours a day. So now you're finding out, and then here's the other, because of West Memphis, where this crime happened, here's another similarity. I've heard you guys talk about the Church of Christ, right?
A little bit here and there.
The South is a big-time Bible Belt. And like I said, this happened during the Satanic Panic. And everybody was going crazy, even like talk show hosts like Sally Jesse Raphael, Oprah Winfrey, Ricky Lakes. They'd all talk about the Satanic Panic and everything. So, I mean, it's a very interesting case, and the similarities. I mean, just literally listen to the guy himself. It is amazing. It's not hearsay. It's not a book written by some author that's trying to make a buck off the guy's back. This is the guy that lived it and breathed it for 18 years.
Wow.
And I think it would be very educational and important for your viewers to stop for a moment and remember this case was back in almost 30 years ago, like back in 1992 or something.
Well, I mean, and even just to be put out there, because a lot of the community here is about the innocent until proven guilty. And this is a perfect example of how those things can exist. Honestly, I never heard about it. I'm sure other people have, but I didn't. And it's something that I'm definitely going to get into because that's what I'm about. Saying, what if it was me? What if it was him? Where you are put in this situation where you are innocent until proven guilty.
And see, the other reason why, here's the other crazy thing about this case. They target him because of his name, Damien. Well, remember the character on The Omen?
Yeah.
The little boy?
Yeah.
Damien.
Right.
Okay? They were making that parallel like, oh, he must be. And then, of course, this other thing, the reason why I got drawn to the case is because, I'm a heavy metal chick, okay? I love my Ozzy Osbourne, my Judas Priest, my Metallica, my Pantera, okay? People, when I was growing up, you consider me gothic, right? I have the black clothes, everything. And I used to have an old lady chase me down the street with holy water telling me I was the devil's daughter.
Right.
because of the way I looked, and that's how they judged him as well. And you got that little connection, you know. I mean, it's like, yeah, I understand your pain that people judge you for that, you know, and that's insanity within itself. I mean, just because you listen to a certain type of music doesn't make you a certain type of person.
No, and they've done that with a lot of cases.
Yeah, for years.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the easy way. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, instead of really doing any deep diving on something, the truth, or cover it, like I said,
cover it up. Yeah.
And that, that's the whole thing. It's a cover up what they were doing in that town too, as in Moscow right now.
Very interesting.
I mean, it is. I mean, almost identical, except for the fact that this is a poorer version of Brian Kohberger. He comes from the poor end of the town, where Kohberger has more of an education, and he has a better upbringing, where he did get an education, where he had, you know, he had his own struggles, but still kind of pushed through it, still took himself through college and everything.
Right.
It's just really, it's a very interesting case. I think it'll blow your mind if you watch it.
It already is, and I haven't even watched anything yet, and I'm probably going to be focusing my show tonight, honestly, about those two topics. I'm going to dig into some of it this afternoon while we explore.
But look for the channel. I think it's Tim Pool or Tom Pool, and you'll see he has it's only 4 months old, with the interview with Damien Eccles.
Okay.
And it's called Cultural War.
It's called what?
Cultural War.
Okay.
Like cultural. Yeah. So look it up. I mean, it's something interesting. I think to kind of, because like I said, it's really hard for some people to comprehend the injustice, but to have somebody, it's one thing for you and I and everybody that has never been in the system or had to fight against something like this, right? It's harder to explain that, but if you have somebody that is actually truly went from the time that they were accused to going through the trial to even ending up into solitary confinement on death row.
Yeah, it's basically like history repeating itself. So if you want to watch what happens when the country is going through a recession, just watch a documentary of the recession that took place before, and you already have an idea. You can use history to learn about the future, and that's the problem. A lot of people don't use the history of what's happened before to make the future better, whether it's decisions or choices. And so, yeah, I'm definitely interested. And like I said, I'm going to be, I was going to be doing a certain topic, but tonight I'm going to use some of this afternoon to kind of do a little, research, like pull up some stuff, kind of see local news, stuff like that, check it out. And then I think this evening, that's what the show's going to be about, the Idaho4 West Memphis 3 comparison type, where
because even to this date, this is the other weird thing, and this is going to happen to Brian Kohberger. Even to this date, people believe these 3 kids are still guilty, even though evidence points totally away from them. I mean, after Brian Kohberger's case, say that
like you're putting all your chips in,
Yeah. I mean, people to this day, 30 years later, still believe these 3 young kids committed the crime, even though I'll give you another little gold nugget about the story. When it first happened, there was a Bojangles. Someone reported a man going into Bojangles' restroom with blood all over them. And one of the cops just drove up to the Bojangles and wanted an order of chicken and hamburgers or whatever, chicken and biscuits, and drove off. And then another cop came. That's when they took the, blood samples. But you're telling me that didn't raise any red flags? A man full of blood going into the restroom? I mean, there is so many similarities to it. And I'm not saying, it's the same crime. But, I mean, if you look at how this is all played out and how the Brian one is being played out right now, it's creepy as hell.
Man. It almost makes you wonder, like, maybe, you can also, if you're corrupt, you can also learn from history too.
Yeah.
As much as you can be about learning from history for the future in a positive direction, it could also be used in a negative direction as well. Man.
And I think I appreciate you taking my call and everything.
No,
I just wanted to give you something to brainstorm about, maybe give you an idea to do something where maybe there's a lot of people that haven't heard about this case.
Man.
And like I said, to hear it come out of Damien Echols' own mouth, there is no better teacher than somebody that truly experienced that experience in their life. We could sit here and talk about it till the cows come home, but we truly don't know the emotions this person went through, or anything, until you hear it from that man's mouth.
Man, no, you.
We could speculate how he might be feeling.
Yeah.
We could theorize how he feels. We could speculate all day long how it feels to be put under that type of scrutiny, that type of spotlight, and having your life in the balance of the justice system when the justice ain't even working for you.
Yeah, 100. It's scary, and that's what people need to understand. Like, we don't know everything. We really don't. And you could literally, like Harsh, like that video we were watching from Harsh a little bit ago.
Yeah.
You can't be shocked either way. You can't be shocked if he's innocent. You can't be shocked if he's guilty. You can't, because like the way that the shit is, like I said, a low budget film when it comes to like the movie about the prosecution. It's like a low budget freaking film you're watching. Like, the BS that's, like, really? Like, this is the justice system. This is what a prosecution team can do when it comes to having all this shit. Like, even the DP, like, yo. And so, with this other case, never heard about it. You blew my mind. I appreciate you 150.
Here's the documentary of this case that I would highly suggest you watch. It's from HBO. It's called Paradise Lost. Okay. And you should see how, like, the suspect now they're thinking is one of the stepfathers that killed these kids. Okay. But you should see how you just got to watch it. It'll blow your mind. If you watch the documentary, the HBO one called Paradise Lost, and if you watch the newest interview with Damien Echols, I think those two it'll take you back, okay? And it'll go through the court case. It'll go through the court case with you. You'll see him when he was only like 17 years old at the time, and then you bring it up to present date where he gets to speak his mind, where he's written books too. His books are on Audible.
Well, I can't show HBO, and I definitely I'm always about kind of sharing it with everybody at the same time as I'm watching it, just because I don't have a bunch of time outside of the show or work to be able to watch those. So that's kind of why I share it with everybody for the show. But I'm definitely going to find something, because there's got to be stuff on YouTube.
But the podcast, being that's on YouTube, He's a YouTube podcaster, I guess. That's the one. I'm wondering if you could do it in an informative way where you like stop and talk about it, where you have a conversation, then you could start it up again. I don't know if you could do it that way.
Yeah. No.
As long as you make it transformative.
You know, there's YouTube. There's probably a lot of documentaries that we'll be able to use, you know what I mean, to share the story. Because like you bring up a lot of good points, and honestly, I might even use the phone call that you're doing in a future episode when it comes, because it was a great call and a lot of great information in the call. Like, I appreciate you so much for having the comfort to call in and bringing this case up, because I never knew about it. I'm always that type of person. You know, when COVID came out, when COVID first came out, I was the type of person, and I am the type of person, I went back and I started watching all the different documentaries on all the different pandemics and what the United States did during them, how things went down, you know, what took place during, how long things took, you know, just different things about it, because I wanted to be prepared and I wanted to learn. Okay, well, this is something new. This is something that we've obviously been through before in the with history when it comes to these pandemics. And I wanted to kind of be prepared, you know, just for myself, you know, so nothing was a surprise. Because when you're always prepared, when you always explore and think about every possibility, you always are prepared. And when you're prepared, that's when you think clearly. And that's what it's all about. So thank you so much for calling in. Holy crap. And please, anytime, if you ever are comfortable to do the panel thing, let me know. I know you're not right now, and any other time you want to call back in, please do, because I'm definitely going to be talking about this more than just tonight. It's probably going to be a few shows where we kind of discuss the possibilities. I'm definitely going to be looking up and researching some stuff on this weekend for sure.
Because to be honest with you, I think it's kind of insanity that we're going over and over this videos of these guys like the grub truck. In a way, to me, it's kind of like insanity, where I think
that's just for my own personal. I want to go through the grub truck.
Yeah. But for me, I like to go back where you have a living, breathing human being that has actually went through this almost same scenario, except 30 years earlier.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely appreciate the fact that you brought it up, and even, you know, just the facts, even, because like you've already blown my mind about the case and the similarities and how it can be similar and all these things, and I haven't even watched 1 second of a video on it, and I'm already blown away. So yeah, it's
let me tell you what, you'll get hooked to this documentary. I mean, it's like to watch this life. And I mean, like I said, I used to watch when Johnny Depp went on the state courthouse there in Arkansas, and he had Damien Echols next to him and everything. I mean, you see where even where they interview Johnny Depp about, there's interviews with him about how Johnny Depp and Eddie Vedder, there's interviews with him and Damien Echols, everything.
Yeah, and we've shared the link to, if you guys want to put that up there again, we've shared the link to his page already. Man, I can't wait to dig into it, honestly, because that's where you can learn the most, is from history. Now, I'm still going to explore the grub truck, because I still feel that there was something in the background. There's more answers in the background when it comes to the grub truck, and that's why I'm going to explore it. I'm not doing the Linda Lane. I'm not, like I said, for the last week and a half, when it's all these different theories and stuff. It's like we could talk about this stuff for like a year. Whenever the trial starts is when you could literally talk about all the different things that could be possible,
But what I'm saying is to kind of like the similarities. That's how I'm seeing the.
Oh yeah.
It's It's like I could almost see in my mind's eye. I have one screen of the Damien Echols, the West Memphis 3 playing, and then on the other side, I could visualize what's going on now in my mind's eye. And if you watch both theater screens at the same time, you'll be like, holy shit. Yeah, not everything's going to be the same, but there's so many freaking similarities to this case. With the DNA, with the FBI, with the cops, with, how do they first come about Damien Echols' name and everything like that? How do they pin him for this shit?
Right.
Then they took advantage of the one that was, mentally delayed and everything. So it's just really interesting.
And that's what we're, it's like the same questions we've been asking about the case that was asked about that one in a small way,
But we're getting a little bit more answers from Damien Echols himself. That's the thing.
Well, and
I'm sure
if BK gets let go, we'll be having the same thing with BK. Maybe if he's able to socially to be able to do those things, because we don't know where he's at. But I'm sure, if he gets set free, I'm sure he will want to talk about these things to help people understand, what.
And if I'm not mistaken, Damien Echols now lives in New York.
Okay.
He don't have no love for the South over there anymore. He's like, no, I ain't going back there. I don't blame him.
Wow.
But yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up on that case because of the similarities.
So much. Wow. Yeah, I'm already seriously, as soon as we're done with this call, I'm already going to be YouTube searching to see what we're going to pull up. We're going to be looking up some stuff right now after we get done.
But it's called the West Memphis 3.
Yeah.
And the main guy is called Damien Echols.
Okay. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff written down here from people that have been stuff in chat, and then stuff that you've been mentioning. So yeah, we're going to start looking into it tonight. And honestly, like I said, tonight's episode and maybe even the next couple after that, we are going to be discussing both cases together. So thank you so much for the advice. Thank you so much for your comfort. Thank you so much for your information. And thank you so much for, just being in the show and hanging out. I really appreciate you giving the show a chance. And it means the world that you're a part of the community. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much, CJ.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Bye. All right. Bye.
Dang. My mind is blown from that one. All right. We're going to open up panel here in a second. Holy crap. That's crazy. West Memphis 3. I mean, I got a whole page full of notes right there that I took of from that conversation. What's up, No Chains? This is crazy. So is there anybody else that is very knowledgeable with this case? Let me know in chat if you're knowledgeable about this case. I never heard of it. Never heard of it. What's up, Lee? How you doing? Well, I did see some of the stuff that I think when it comes to the caps and then the words that we avoid using on YouTube, like the K and things like that. That's probably why you're getting timed out. So if you don't mind, just kind of, use what we use in YouTube land, if you don't mind. Let me see here. That was a great caller. Sent me an email. Got pods and it's not loud at all. And let me see here. Being disrespectful to the caller. Oh, okay. Well, I can understand then. We're all about exploring everybody's theories, thoughts, and opinions, and we wouldn't want to be disrespected in chat either. So it's only fair to also not disrespect others, because it's all about treating others how you would want to be treated. That's all. So we have Sinead hopping up in the back stage. Give me 1 second. That was Pagan from chat. So she might be hopping in back into chat. No, I did not hear that. No Chains. I did not. I know Truth and Transparency came out with a video discussing Enon again as well. But when it comes to like the Linda Lane stuff, I don't know. We've already went through it all. You know what I mean? We've already went through it. So, what's up, Sinead? How are you doing this afternoon? Or evening, or whichever it may be.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing my rounds on YouTube.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm doing my rounds on YouTube.
Oh, okay. There should be a thing where you can shut your camera off if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
I just always have people wave when they're backstage. So there you go. So I know. Oh, that's a cool icon. Oh, it worked for a second. Now it went away. There we go.
Okay.
What's up?
That lady.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ain't that crazy?
Unreal.
What's up, Megs? Yeah, the caller that we just had, Sinead.
Oh my God.
Ain't that crazy?
She knows it. Well, if I give you my story within 1 minute, and then we could continue on. I was said by a local priest. Had to keep my mouth quiet. Got into trouble. Severe trouble. And nice police knew why I was doing what I was doing, if that makes sense. But this lady with the Memphis 3, once you something happens bad to you, you start looking at other things, and there's nothing you can't stop that. It's just a thing you have to do to get justice.
Right.
And I thought I got my justice, and I didn't. But that's neither here nor there, because apparently there's numbers on justice, like this is worse than this one, and that's worse than that one, and that's better than that one. And it confuses the ass clean out of me. I'm in the fate of my life right now, and it's doing my head in. And I'm sure people listening to me are going, oh, here she goes again. I just want you to know that see all this and watching it, and I'm nearly analyzing it to a point that you think you're an FBI agent. Like, really, you're trying your best to analyze this, what happened.
Yeah.
It actually gets more easier when you actually start to get into the truth of the matter.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really, really, really think I watched it was Rory, and there was loads of people on that I did not know, and I was like, holy crap. There was a double thing that was going on.
A double thing? What do you mean?
Yeah, that night particular, there was a double. Oh God, I don't know. I can't explain it to you. And how am I supposed to in layman's terms? Only that the police and the FBI were already, or the FBI were already there before this happened, and they were supposed to be doing something, you know, to get rid of, you know what, the D word, and that our kids were caught up in the whole madness of it all. And I actually see
Well, we don't
whenever,
know that for sure. It is speculation on either way, you know, either side. You know what I mean?
is
when
it
comes to,
yeah,
well,
because
is there proof that
they
they were
haven't
there
come in to say
before?
that.
But is there proof that they were there before when they stated they were there? Not yet.
Yeah. And that shocked me. But I live in Ireland, as you know,
Mhm.
and my friend was murdered. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
you,
Great. You're fine. It's fine. Go ahead.
he was stabbed.
Okay.
And the cleanup happened within 5 minutes. The videotapes were raised within 2 minutes.
Wow.
And
Sorry
he
to
was
hear
just
that.
he was just left to lie there. The witnesses were threatened, and on the wall, like there's a main wall where I live, and it said, if you want to say anything, say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got on TV, and I just like, there was 5 of us. My friend Robert McCartney, his sisters went to the White House to try to get justice, to try to get everything, and they wouldn't touch away a barge pole. And I got on and I said, the dogs are barking in the street, like the names. So when I saw that lady Kim on Rory's show, and she's been on loads, although I don't watch all of them.
Oh, you mean WSU Kim?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been on here too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What? As I'm saying, on what I watched them, and I'm like, this woman's not. Why would this woman lie? She's.
Nobody says that she was. But
no, but
just,
what I'm saying is there are people questioning her.
Well, you have to question everything because, okay, you could say stories about Moscow, right? But that's why I'm saying, like, if we don't have it from LE or there isn't a trial, we don't know. We really don't know. Now there's hearsay, there's things that people are saying, but you have to take everybody's when it's not in a document or it's not being released in a trial, then everything is considered speculation because either it could be, nobody knows for sure, because I could tell you that the sun is green.
Well, the sun is.
Does it mean?
Well,
but yeah, the sun's gold, yellow, whatever, right? And I could tell you that, but I could also tell you the sun is green. But I could also tell you the sun is green. You know what I'm saying? So unless it's in a document or it's out in trial, then we really, honestly, we don't know. So,
well, what if I
because
told
I've heard
you?
different stories when it comes to that morning from different people. You know what I mean?
Okay. What if I told you from the ages of 7 to 11, that I was essayed by our local priest. And I told my mother, and my mother said, please don't, because my daddy was a big, massive drinker. And she was afraid. Would you believe me? Or would I need to give you
but
proof?
that's the thing. Yeah. No. Did I ever ask WSU Kim for proof? No. Would you know what I'm saying? That is your experience. I've had plenty of people hop up on panel that have shared, because we've had mental health episodes where people come up on panel and they even share their own stories and their experiences of things that they went through, right? And I appreciate you being comfortable to tell us as well. And what I'm saying is I never ask. I never ask anybody for that kind of proof. I'm going to be the person, like I said, I'm always the person that gives somebody 150% until they show me I'm not supposed to give them anything. Because with me, you either get 150 or you get 0. That's just how I am.
I can give you 250. I can email you.
No, I don't know. I don't need the proof. That's not what I'm saying. And I apologize if I'm coming off
long.
No, that's not even what I'm asking. I'm saying that I believe you. That's what I mean by I'm giving you 150%. Because if I give you 150%, if that 150% of my effort and soul doesn't make you want to give me at least 125 back, that's fine. But as long as if I'm giving you more and it makes you want to give me more, we're always going to be climbing together, right? It's the people that don't give me at least 100. That's when I question you, because if I give you 150 and it only makes you want to give me 100 back or less, that's when you get 0 from me. That's when you get 0 from me, because if I don't, what I give you doesn't make you want to give me more in return than you typically would, then I don't have that much time on this planet, and I don't need to waste my time with people that are giving 0 to 99. I just don't need to do it. Now, I'm not saying I need proof. I totally believe you, and I'm sorry that you went through those things. I have family members.
No, don't worry. I'm a strong woman.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, and anytime.
But I love what you're doing, because you know what it is. It's your demeanor and your calmness. You don't go nuts. You don't shout, you don't scream, you just tell it as you see it, and if people don't like it, then that's fine. But you do it in a very, very, very calm, and I know you're not a woman, but sophisticated way. I'm sure men can be sophisticated, isn't that right? Yeah, but when Ireland would never call men sophisticated, would just call them bleep bleep bleeps. But that's just the way it is here. I just wanted to ring up to say to the last caller, she is absolutely spot on as regards to the justice system.
Yeah.
And I want to say to you, as regards to what happened to me, I had to go through like an excruciating, like in my opinion, in my eyes, in my brain, an excruciating trial, and he was let out and he's walking free. And he's a priest and he's allowed to wear his collar. So Who would you trust more?
Wow.
A man with a shirt on running to get you, or who would you trust? A man with a collar going, "Come on, I'll help you."
Right.
I'm telling you now, it would drive you totally insane. But I'm trying to fight that this end. But when we were talking about the Memphis 3 there, well, I was listening, and these fellas can't even as much as nearly walk out the bloody door,
Right.
because, and they're innocent. Does that make any sense?
None of it does. You know what I mean? And I've covered, and this is the sad part about these SA motherfuckers, and I'm sorry that I'm swearing, but I really, you know, I don't know. There's
you're
just a
lucky.
certain spot for them people. You know what I'm saying? And
I've heard you.
That's what's sad about those. You know, they're often let out way freaking earlier than they should.
He didn't get jail. The judge
didn't
let him
even
go.
What? Oh my gosh.
I swear I'll
to
send
hear
you,
that.
and you will,
Wow.
well, I'm not saying you'll faint, because you're not easy going. I don't think anything will make you faint, but I really, really want to get out there. Just watch your children. I have been, what do you call that, barred from Facebook, trying my best to tell people, don't let your children near these people, because they will do it. He'll do it again, and it kills me. But what also kills me is that and this is my opinion. Is that okay, CJ? This is my opinion. That I do not believe that Brian Kohlberger went in like a ninja and started going around the place and done it in 4 or 5 minutes or whatever, 6 minutes, whatever you're saying. No chance. And I think the brains of all of you together in the collective
and thank you too.
Are doing more. And I'm so thankful, because I'm not very, what's that word? I can be articulate if I want, but it all depends what type of, subject it is.
Right.
But when it comes to children, which I call them children, I do not care. They're children to me. I'm 52 years of age, and my age was stunted because of an evil person. I can look at this and go, Jesus, it kills me. I cry. I cry every night, and I'm in bloody Ireland. Right.
And that's the thing. That's why these people need to put in there for longer, because it's almost like it's something that, like you said, it changes your life forever. Forever. And it's not one of these things where somebody goes to, gets incarcerated and a couple years they're changed. No, I don't really think so. That's just my opinion. But if they were, okay, good for you. What about the freaking victim that you just victimized, that now the rest of their life?
Well, we call ourselves survivors.
Right, exactly. And there's strength in that. I've trust me, I have my own story of stuff that happened to me in my childhood. That
you said that one day when I watched you, and I would really love to hear your story, your life story, not your story, your life story, because it could help people more. But as regards to this, what's happening right now, and in this corrupt, is it a town? Is it a city? I have no idea. I'm like, what the F is happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the only woman that has, she's more, excuse my French, balls than any man. Because we haven't heard one man ring into any show and say, this is what happened. It's always us women that have to ring up. And I really do think that what they were talking about in Rory's show, I really do think that was a parallel. Oh my God, I'm trying to think of the terminology. A parallel to do. Something was going on and then something happened otherwise.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you look at what the evidence is showing us and what we're not getting and what we're being shown doesn't exist, that's where all those other possibilities are coming into it. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta,
like,
and I think
so many possibilities. Yeah.
Well, there's, I don't think there's so many possibilities. I think that, well, okay, I have a possibility, and I told Dago, and I'm very naive in this world. I don't really like to think that people could do bad things on other people. Maybe that's just, I don't know, my mentality, but I could not for the life of me believe that four young kids could be, you know what, in their own place where they live. So I said to Dago that could this be that maybe they are not passed away and they are all in on it, and they were the
victims, you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah. I swore over my mother. I was like, could it be that Kaylee went, right, we're getting out of here and they can do whatever they want and we'll go.
But why would they do that?
That's in my naivety.
Yeah. Why do you think they would do that? What do you think, because from everything we heard,
plenty of people have done it, and plenty of people have said, yes, I'll go along with that as long as I can talk to my family, know that, what do you call that thing you have in America? It's like where you go to a place and you have a new identity, and I don't, what do you call it, CJ? What do you call it?
Like a secret identity. I mean, what, going to another country?
That's what I was. No, yeah, not the different country. Yeah.
What?
Just
a secret identity.
Yeah.
Witness protection or something?
That's it.
Is that what you're saying? Witness protection?
Yes, thank you. And maybe what was going down that night wasn't.
So not some elaborate plan to necessarily be off the grid and not exist, but witness protection because of what was going on before is basically what you mean.
And to give the real people the real people, as in the real investigators, what they knew.
Well, I have a question
Name.
for you then, if you're going to go that route, because I've brought it up before a couple times, and I want to if you're thinking that, I want to get your opinion. Because when you think about all the agents that were there, okay, and I'm kind of going back to when I was like looking into Delphi stuff, all right?
Yeah.
And because Delphi was looking, there was agencies looking at Keegan Klein before Delphi even took place. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
And when that was taking place, it was like I had questions like, did certain agencies, while they were there investigating, not know or possibly know? And certain things, we've heard of certain things where certain things were allowed or took place during an investigation that would ruin the other investigation or impede the investigation. And so there's always those possibilities out there too when that comes up. So with all of them different agencies out there, are you saying that they knew that these girls were, or the three victims, the three girls and the gentleman, they were going to become victims, or that they knew something, and because of them being in the area for the investigation, that this is what they came up with? What I'm really having a hard time trying to understand is, why wouldn't you, if that was the case, if it was going to be 4 people that were going to go into witness protection, why wouldn't you just make it out like they were all in the same car on a trip and they got into an accident or something? Why would you want to put the families through, or even, the loved ones that don't know? Because if you are in witness protection, they're not supposed to know that you exist. So you're going to make them think that they were like brutally attacked?
You've asked me about what 20 questions there, so
sorry.
I'll go I'll go through it as quickly as I can. Do you remember the 4 people that ran in the background from the band film?
Yeah.
And they get into a car?
Yeah.
And apparently they were joggers. And I've been asking for ages, who are these joggers? And we all know, is it that guy, Anan? We would know this person, we know this person, we know this person, we know this person, we know this person. Where are these 4 joggers? Now, the only thing that got me is because I'm very cynical to the world and I don't believe everything I'm told, and I certainly do not watch MSM. I'm totally YouTube. So I started thinking about that, and then I started thinking, and then they were given, I wouldn't say the narrative, but I would say that give us a wee bit of an insight into Kaylee, and that she was a wee Nancy Drew. And I was like, right. And then the video going up to the grub truck, and I was like, right, okay, well, could this be that they knew what was going to happen, and the powers that be could say, right, get yous out of here now, and we'll sort this out from here? Because everywhere in the world there's a drug problem, but especially that line, because I looked it up, and it is a valid and well-known drug line. And I was like, oh Jesus, so if they're alive, then then this is amazing. And no, I don't think anybody's gonna be angry at them. I think people are gonna be angry more at, excuse me, I hate to say it, the powers that be, yet again. Get you out of the road. We'll let on user, but I don't think they had to go through all that, you know, to get to this point. They could have just said,
why,
you know,
like a car accident or something. Why make it out to be some brutal attacks that, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, that hurt
that
more.
That is some, you know, like, or they went out, you know, on a trip out of the country and they disappeared. I mean, you know, there's like
loads of happened
to make it right, and that's what I'm saying. So like, you know, I'm not saying that it can't exist. I'm not saying what you're saying can't be a possibility. What I'm saying to that is if that's the scenario, right? Then why would it be a story of this horrible, brutal attack and not something?
Because I'm not being rude when I say this, so please don't take this in a bad way. Most people, not all, but most people on this earth love to like to watch Halloween. You said you would watch The Exorcist with a cup of tea and go, what the frig? I'm not even worried. It doesn't scare me. Where if I was to watch The Exorcist, I'd turn it over after 1 minute.
Right.
It all depends on your personality. So
that's a good point.
I think sometimes they play on everyone's feelings, just like they did in 9/11 and other things that have happened in, you know, since I've been alive. And I see people and I'm like, what? Why is this annoying you so much when you know this is BS? And so we don't know this is BS right now. All we know is that 4 people, beautiful people, have gone. I don't know if they've passed, but apparently from you know them people that do tarot cards.
Yeah.
They're completely gone. They're gone. And Stevie, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm like, oh my God, he's the only one, like a spokesperson for everyone. And I've seen fathers here in Ireland and they can't even speak. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not putting that man down whatsoever. But if you knew that your daughter was doing the best for the better good to get other people off the bloody streets in order to save other lives, would you not do it? Because many people have lost their life beforehand.
What? I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay. Beforehand, there was what? Many drug deaths, 2 drownings, and then it came to 1122, and that happened. And then there was one after, I think. And oh yes, oh God rest his soul, if he is passed, because I actually don't believe half of the things I watch on TV. So
Well, we can only go off of documents and the trials, you know.
Yeah,
Because
so sorry.
none of us are working with, unless we have Billy at the water cooler hop up on the show and discuss.
I'd love to know
you know,
who Billy is.
Billy,
You always
hop
say
on.
Billy
You know?
is the water cooler.
It's a general person. Like none of us we're not Moscow PD. You know,
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
like here in
Indian.
Ireland. I don't know about America, but you're happy as Larry, and I go, who the hell's Larry? Because I want to hang out with him.
Right? I want to hang out with Billy, damn it, so then we can answer all these questions, you know.
And I don't really want to make fun of it, but
no.
I'm just really invested, and I shouldn't be so much invested in it. But I'm a human being.
Yeah, and we're built off emotion. That's how we
yeah.
Everything we do, even choices, whether we move a hand, it's all made off of emotion, you know. I feel like I want to lift up my hand. It's an emotion.
Yeah, and my niece is the exact same age as Maddie. No, sorry, Kaylee. Although they're the same age, but I think Maddie's just that wee touch older. And my niece is absolutely beautiful in my eyes and everybody else's. And if something happened to her, I would go out, and I ain't gonna say what I'd do, but I just would go absolutely ape. And I think that's where Kim comes into the picture. And people don't believe her, and people may put her down, but at least she has the gazoolas to get up, because that's exactly what I did when my friend was, you know, taken from this earth. Right. And I'm sorry I've taken too much of your time up.
No, it's a live show. It's a talk show.
You are so, you know what? I think more people on this earth were like you, it would be a really nicer place.
Oh, well, that's what it starts with somebody, you know what I mean? And then it's a collective effort with other people. We have the community that's about the peace, positivity, and progress. And it starts somewhere, you know what I mean? And I'm not the first one to be about it. There was other people before me. I'm an extension of them, and everybody is an extension of everybody else. And that's what I'm saying. If we all are this way, right? Not just on YouTube, but in the world.
Wouldn't it be a beautiful
you know what
word?
I mean? That's why I'm saying. And that's what makes me want to give everybody 150, because the end goal to me is what I was just saying. It's what if not just YouTube, but the whole world gave 150 to their neighbor? Can you imagine? You know what I'm saying?
My God.
That's all. And it starts somewhere. And that's what makes me give the 150, is because that's what I'm about. I am about that peace, positivity, and progress. And I know if I give 150, the people that are truly about the end, you know, the same as I am, they're gonna give at least 125 back, because if you're not about it, you don't have any desire to give any more than 100 or more than that. And that's why I make zero time for those people, because all you're doing is you're just somebody that's in the boat of everybody rowing, and you're just rowing the other way, and all you're gonna do is slow us down from getting to the top of the mountain to celebrate.
As my therapist said, you can't run on an empty cup. You have to fill your cup up, not up completely, but you have to fill yourself up before you can help someone else. Where I used to run on empty, trying to help everyone, and it doesn't work that way. And I think, do you know what? This is really weird. I'm going to say this, but I have to say it. You could bring a change to this word that maybe we haven't had before on YouTube.
I'm
because
sorry,
it's always, pardon?
I couldn't understand you. My feed was cutting out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's StreamYard bugging. Just that, what you just said.
You could bring a change to this word in a really positive way because of your demeanor and your personality.
I appreciate that.
And people wouldn't fight or argue. And we could all have a civilized conversation and not judge people.
I mean, because that's what it's about, you know?
Yeah, and I'm going to let you go because I think I've said enough. And I would just like to thank you for listening to me.
Well, and I appreciate your comfort. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, as a human being, the human being. You're doing an absolutely brilliant job.
Oh, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that.
Oh, you don't need to thank me.
Of course I do.
I'm sure you're getting thanked all over the place. And I just wish you well. And I'm very privileged that you spoke to me. Thank you.
No, thank you. And I will thank you because you didn't have to hop up. You didn't have to say those kind words. You could have not said anything at all. And so I do thank you for saying the kind words. And I mean it when I say those things because they do mean a lot. And
yeah,
you know,
sure. I told you my bloody life story. So
it's all good though. No, that means that you're showing comfort, and I appreciate that because when you're able to talk about your own experiences of things that happen to you, it means that you are comfortable. And so I appreciate your comfort. I appreciate your trust in allowing us and myself to hear your experiences and what took place. I'm sorry that those happened.
And you keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And thank you for being a part of the community too, about the peace.
And thank you for understanding my accent, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's a cute accent. And thank you. So much.
Well, good night. God bless.
God bless you too. Thank you. Thank you for your comfort.
I'll keep watching. Good night. God bless.
Good night. Thank you. And we'll be on later tonight as well. We're going to be getting into that Memphis 3 case with the similarities of the Idaho4. So it's definitely going to be very interesting. And anytime you'd like to hop up on panel, seriously, you're more than welcome. I appreciate you. And thank you for showing who you are before you come up on panel, because
I would never do that.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have my hair done and makeup on, and I'll try to look my best.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. It's just because there's weirdos out there that try and do certain things. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah, I'm one of them weirdos. Yeah.
No, not you. You didn't do it, but I'm saying the stuff that they've done. Like so you have to make sure that the people are really there. You know what I mean?
I know, but we have humidity here in Ireland, and that would be one of my mad things. Don't show us your whatever, but I can show you my like Tina Turner hair.
Yeah, exactly. Your Tina Turner hair. You just got to make sure you have a shirt on, and you're not,
Oh God,
you
well
don't
that
have
goes
stuff in
without
your hand.
saying.
That's all.
I'll
No.
be on a different web stream or whatever you call
Right?
that.
Yeah, no, there's people that try that. That's why it's
No,
like,
you're
hey,
all right. I can
yeah,
live just happy
like
by myself.
Brian, I saw you on Dago. You're doing good, buddy. When you were on my show, bro, and you didn't, it's like, yo, man, I can't. You just gotta be careful. So, Brian, you're more than welcome to come back, bro. But yeah, thank you so much. And anytime you want to hop on, please do.
Well, thank you so much, and slang from Ireland.
Yeah, thank you. Slang from Ireland. Thank you
No,
so much.
slang.
What's that?
It means
Slang?
goodbye and good luck to you.
Oh, really? Well, how do you spell that?
S for sugar, L for Lima, A for Alpha, N for November.
Slan. Huh.
Slan, exactly.
Slan?
But in my accent, it's slan.
Slan? And
yeah,
it means what again? Slan?
Well, to be quite honest, years ago, it was go and be safe and God be with you. And then it got modernized. Look after yourself and be safe.
So it's just a whole, it's like a goulash in one word. It's a whole bunch of stuff just thrown together, huh?
You know what, Irish? We throw everything together and just make it look right, make it look nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get up an Irish dance one night for you.
Oh my gosh, you're fucking hilarious. Oh, that is so neat. Thank you so much.
I know, but I love you, and that's why I feel comfortable. So I'm just going to go and let someone else on and let the crazy lady get off.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be looking up some of these videos before we get off. But yeah, we'll be ending it here in a little bit.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really enjoy watching you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words and thanks for your support.
Well, slang go foil. You're gonna have to lick that one up.
Yeah, I'll work on that one. Okay. Thank you so much. The Hard Truth dropped a video in Idaho. Can you review the? Was it the body cam that Truth and Transparency we're going over? We went over that last night. I do want to look up, and thank you again, Pagan, for your comfort. If you haven't hit like yet, please do. It's the free way to help. I'm actually going to look up some of those videos about in here if anybody else wants to hop up. We will be ending it here shortly, but I am going to look up some of these videos when it comes to this Memphis, the Memphis 3. So give me 1 second. Oh, actually, that channel, Boundless Millennial, I'd like to have him on sometime. I've been wanting to try and get him on. I am, I was trying to get on because he was sitting at like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 100 subs for a while. And I've been promoting him like crazy for a couple months now, and I'm so happy to say he actually just hit the 1K mark yesterday or the day before. So for all of you that have subbed to this gentleman from the show, I appreciate you so much. Like I said, There was people out there just like me. They were using our content, claiming it as their own, and then claiming to not know who the source was, couldn't remember the source when being called out. Yada, 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 every excuse in the book. And so that's when I really wanted to start promoting him, because it's like, yo, I'm not trying to come up off of somebody else's. So I'm trying to help you come off of your own. So that's why I just promote him and have been promoting him like crazy for a couple months. So I'm glad to see that he finally hit the 1K. He definitely deserves it. Does put in a lot of hard work and makes a lot of great content when it comes to YouTube, not only about the Idaho4 case, but other topics as well. So this is Boundless Millennial. I'm going to go ahead and share this channel again. And bro, you know, if you ever check out the show, please hop on anytime you would like. I would love to have you on. Let me see here, because I'm all about giving credit where credit's due. So here's Boundless Millennial. This video just came out short.
That discovery response from the state is...
Give me 1 second. This is 2 minutes ago. It just came out, everybody. So go show some love to the video. I'm going to put this in chat if you want to hop over there real quick. Leave a thumbs up. Support and sub this gentleman if you're not subbed. And then here's the video.
That discovery response from the state is basically like, we don't have records of anything. We don't have any recordings. We have nothing. Get real. Who are you kidding? So the one that really drew my attention was the last one. The one that named 3 officers that were present at the autopsies. Why are they throwing out names? Did they do some sketchy shit?
Right.
Oh, more than you know. So first I'm looking for Gunnison. There's no Gunnison. Gunderson comes up. No. And I'm wondering if they misspelled his name on purpose. So the armchair detectives.
See what I'm saying? Great content. Has been ever since he came out. Come on, bro, get on the show.
Look him up. So during the COVID lockdown, there were some kids running around tagging Soviet Moscow in protest of the lockdowns. So they arrested 2 brothers, a 19-year-old and a 14-year-old. Neither one read their Miranda rights. The minor was separated from his adult brother and was interrogated without a guardian present or without rights read.
Wow.
And, the video recording of that interrogation, there wasn't one. We don't have it. No.
Right.
We all wear body cams, but you know, they're not really recorded.
Sounds just like this, doesn't it?
It's just for fun. A subpoena was issued for discovery, and they never produced any videotape. And then a year later, the videotape emerges, except it has no audio for an interrogation.
Right? It's like a low-budget fucking movie.
And in the videotape, you can see multiple officers walking by, other officers mic'd up, and you know what? They have no audio. The 3 officers, Gunderson, Nunez, and Waters. Nunez was the first responder on the scene at 1122 King Road. Gunderson was at the autopsy.
Wow.
Who knows where Waters is? You don't interrogate children without a guardian or without reading them their rights. I mean, you don't have to go to the police academy to know that.
Right.
2 people known for suppressing evidence.
Yep.
And if they did all this over chalk drawings and stickers, imagine what they do over a murder. To be continued.
Oh, nobody cares more about stickers than they do.
I'm telling you, this has been out there for a while about, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this. I'm going to make this a community post at, let's see, Boundless Millennial, one of the best content creators out there that makes you think. Hop on the show anytime, bro. For real. That's the stuff we were saying a long time ago. Like, yeah, I ran into his channel a couple months ago. I always promote the shit out of this dude. That's why I always, like up until yesterday or the day before, I've always asked for these 2 months. Like, why does this dude not have 1K? Come on, people. Come on, people. Come on, people. Here's the video, and I'll put the link to his channel here. Excuse me. I'm sure you're already subbed, Kib Kitty, because we've been promoting him for a couple months now on this show. So I'm sure you're subbed already. Boundless Millennial, it's right up there. YouTube.com/Boundless Millennial. I'm telling you. Yeah. So much that SRB thought we even had him on the show before. Like, that's how much. Seriously. Great. There's other ones I didn't even get to show you guys just because we've been so mixed in with all the conversations and stuff. But yeah, that's remember when the Brady Giglio stuff came out? Remember? Way back then when we first heard. Thank you, Tennessee Sweetheart. Seriously, I'm so proud that he's above 1K, man. I've been pushing for this dude hard. And seriously, dude, anytime, hop on. I'd love to have you on the show. Promote you some more. The dude, he definitely does. He's got a great mind too. The things that you got to think about, the things that he brings up, the possibilities that he's explores. We're on that same track too. It's just when we found out about the Brady Giglio, we already heard right there that there was speculation that it was dealing with LE that were falsifying information. And now when it comes, thank you, Katrina, for doing that. Now when you see this, how shit doesn't exist, reports don't exist, audio doesn't exist, cam don't exist, like all of these different things that don't exist, things that you're seeing now, things that you're seeing from back then. We have Pagan on the show. She's talking about another case. This shit is crazy. That's why we say it's innocent until proven guilty. That's why you have to explore all the different thoughts, theories, and opinions, because all of them could freaking exist. And it sure as hell sounds like there's some of that's been taking place. And Taylor, I totally understand why she don't care if the house gets demolished, because she might not even think there might not even be a trial as far as she's concerned, because her client might even not even have to get to trial based off of the information of what we're freaking seeing. Thank you so much for the subs over there, everybody. Appreciate it. Let's get this man on the show. I would love to do a show where once a week he hangs out with us. I know he makes short form content. He's not one that does the live streams. Bro, once a week, hop on CJ's show. We'll discuss this shit. We'll mix up our brains. Your thoughts, my theory, different shit, man. Good shit, dude. Boundless Millennial. Great content. One of the best out there. All right, so I do want to kind of scan through some West Memphis 3 stuff, and then we are going to let me see what's on Twitter real quick. And then we are going to end the show, and I will be back tonight, and we're going to be going into it. The West Memphis 3 and the TV 11. The West Memphis 3 and the whole Idaho4 comparisons. Again, thank you for the call. So this one is THV 11. Okay. So this is kind of talking about the West Memphis 3 case. So I will put that up. Give me 1 second. And we'll kind of check out a little bit of this, give you a little bit of an introduction if you don't know much about it. If you do know about it, and if you'd like to hop up on panel tonight, please do. because I don't know. I'm going to be exploring it just like you guys, and then we'll probably end it with a game or two, a deal or no deal, whoever is up on panel there. Let me see here. Yeah, he's very creative. I appreciate. I would love to have him on the show sometime. Always have. All right. Let me see here. So this is the West Memphis 3 30 years later.
May 1993, a time when kids rode their bikes everywhere and many parents didn't worry the way they do now. But in one day, that all changed for a small, tight-knit Arkansas town. The infamous West Memphis murders rocked the world, not just of West Memphis, but our entire state. 3 second-grade boys disappeared, later found dead in a ditch. They were Stevie, Christopher, and Michael. Their families heartbroken, a town left in fear. And the arrests of 3 teenagers that came soon after kept the story in headlines even to this day. Tonight, we look back at what happened, what's changed following the initial investigation, and why many see the fight for justice continuing 30 years later.
I believe with all my heart and all my soul that the day is coming whenever we will see justice and we'll walk out of this place. It may not come tomorrow. It may not come on September 30th. But it will come.
That was 13 years ago. Damian Eccles was on death row. Jason Baldwin and Jesse Miskelly serving life in prison for the deaths of 3 West Memphis boys.
Get them out of the way of the van!
From the beginning, the trio maintained their innocence. Lonnie Sowery, a member of Damian's legal team, recounts the initial trial.
There was no evidence, absolutely no evidence linking them to the crime. These kids didn't drive. The 3 bodies, bizarrely, had no blood around them. So clearly they were taken from the murder scene to this drainage ditch. Damian lived 8 miles away from where the bodies were buried, never drove. None of these kids drove. They didn't have cars. It was an incredible miscarriage of justice.
It was the morning of May 5th, 1993, when 3 8-year-old boys, Steve, Michael, and Christopher, went to school. Testimony from neighbors say they were seen playing with each other into the evening. Steve Branch's stepfather called them to come in for the night. That was the last moment of what was a normal day for the little town. The boys never came home. Police searched for them throughout the night and into the next day. The search ended when their bodies were found in a nearby ditch.
3 boys were found submerged in water, and it is not an accident. They did not slip off in it. We do have 3 homicide victims.
The community shocked that something like this could happen.
It scares me that people could be that mean and kill kids just like that.
I can't even see how can somebody would do something like that because, for a fact, I feel like if it was my kid, I'd kill him. He'll be dead right now.
They was in my room. We decorated their desk pretty for them.
Was that sad?
I was crying. My friend was crying too.
Were they friends of yours?
Steve helped me with my homework.
It wasn't long before police pinpointed their suspects. 3 local teens known to law enforcement for petty crimes. Damian Eccles, Jason Baldwin, and Jesse Miskelly.
They went around and Damian Eccles was a local kid who had some minor trouble, was, dressed in.
Hey, Josie, is that like the same time when they were like having all those Senate hearings and things like that when it came to the music? Is that when they started having like the parental advisory on the albums and things like that? Because music was also getting blamed for that. And thank you, Jojo. I appreciate that. Is that like those like the Tipper Gore stuff you're talking about? Is that when it was all taking place about the parental advisory and all those things that were starting to be created?
In black, and they targeted him, and one of the youth officers who had some run-ins with Damien at the crime scene declared this must be the work of Damien Echols.
The three were found guilty of the murders. Miss Kelly and Baldwin were sentenced to life in prison. Echols would be sent to death row. It was behind bars where they would spend the next 18 years and 78
Whoa,
days
so
trying to be heard again.
So Echols was on death row? What the hell? They were
in front of a judge. They did get that request, the attorneys stating there were strong doubts of evidence pointing to them as the killers. The prosecutor and attorneys of the West Memphis Three made a deal called an Alford plea.
I hope and pray that they have become rehabilitated,
allowing the three to plead guilty and still maintain their innocence.
The hardest part was taking the Alford plea, knowing that the state was not going to pursue justice and not going to pursue who killed the kids.
Wow.
I know to the core of my soul that the only reason the state did not murder me and sweep this case under the rug was because people all over the world were paying attention to it.
Now, the fight to clear their names didn't end there, and we'll take a closer look at that in a bit. But the clamor over the West Memphis
Thank you,
Three's
sir.
case
Appreciate
came at a
your
unique
kind
time
words.
in history. The internet was in its fledgling years, something that helped fuel discussion of the story nationwide in a way not really seen before. The case would also become the focus of a documentary, which raised questions about the verdict. Today, the attention surrounding the West Memphis Three is getting new life. The age of podcasts and true crime and social media are exposing a whole new audience to the case, and once again raising questions about whether justice was really served.
There are people who weren't alive in 1993 who are on TikTok or on social media and learning about it now and saying, what is going on here?
The 90s, full of grunge and counterculture, it became a time for people to express
I'm gonna get in
themselves
trouble for
outside of
that.
the norm.
When people say it could have been me, they don't mean like I looked and dressed the same. Sometimes, absolutely. It's such a basic through line, and I'm innocent. Like there's no evidence.
Thank you,
here.
Brandywine.
That's why it could have been any of us.
3 years after the murders in West Memphis, a new documentary would take an in-depth look at the case which captivated the country.
I didn't kill those 3 little boys.
Paradise Lost, the child murders at Robin Hood Hills, showcased several issues in the case that created doubt in the evidence. So much
Wow.
so, the trial became a national phenomenon. Now fast forward to 2007 and the Free the West Memphis Three movement. It revived interest, seeing support from celebrities like Natalie Maines of the Chicks. All of this adding to the attention.
When you're putting
I
someone
love it too, typically.
to death, you have to be 100% sure. And there is loads and loads of doubt.
Oh, I
Now,
remember,
decades later, we're
I remember when they were doing so. Holy crap! This was like wow. This is amazing. We need to highlight all these artists too.
seeing a resurgence of curiosity surrounding the case. Jillian Pensavalle is the creator of the True Crime Obsessed podcast. It's cases like the West Memphis Three that made her want to bring attention to how the justice system can be flawed.
It was so shocking. It's one of those things where you realize like, oh, the system is completely broken.
Thousands of people tune in to listen to each episode,
Man, I
bringing
wanna
new
have them on,
attention
too.
and a new audience
True
to the
Crime
West Memphis
Obsessed
Three story.
podcast?
If I have a platform, I want to use it for good.
And my
Right.
show, we take big cases and we cover
Right.
each week a very small
What's up,
element
Keith?
of the case. And then, 100,000 people or more in our audience dig into those files,
Thank you.
give me feedback.
Bob Ruff is the creator and host of the Truth and Justice.
So I have a question, Josie. Were they getting legal issues brought on because they were putting light on this case? Is that because I don't remember too much about the Dixie Chicks? Was it because they were putting light on the case, and is that maybe why they were getting legal issues pushed towards them? I don't know. I don't know too much about the Dixie Chicks.
This podcast. He's done multiple seasons on the West Memphis Three case. For him, it's about trying to find the missing piece that would clear the names of Damien, Jesse, and Jason.
They kind of become high profile because people like me and other podcasters and documentarians cover them. But the reason they become newsworthy is because the district attorneys won't allow anyone to find the truth.
With these podcasts and the ability to have information at your fingertips, there's a global revival happening to find out what happened to Steve, Christopher, and Michael, and finally close what some say is an unfinished investigation. For people like Bob, they won't stop until the case is solved.
You know, we're fighting hard to fix mistakes from the past, but the other thing that we're trying to do is to prevent mistakes in the future.
It wasn't just new attention to the case that brought about new life, but in a major turn, the discovery of evidence that could lead to new information. But the push to have that evidence retested with new technology sparked a whole new court battle, bringing us to a fight that's still ongoing today.
We're looking for the real killers. It's not only to exonerate Damien, Jason, and Jesse, but find the real killers.
Lonnie Sowery is part of Damien Echols' legal team. In 2021, they finally got the chance to move the case forward with new hope. Echols' team combed through evidence that the state had previously told them was destroyed in a fire.
We went into the
They finally got the chance to move the case forward with new hope. Hope. Echols' team combed through evidence that the state had previously told them was destroyed in a fire.
We went into the police department and found the evidence.
Sorry, I was just wanting to show everybody, and I thought I was off mute, but it was like, look at how young they looked. Sorry about that. Look at how young they looked when it was on that mugshot. It just, and then how young they, it was an easy blame game, especially back then with the propaganda that they were promoting about it all. It's all good, everybody. We're going to finish up this episode. I am going to, if you want to do me a favor, send me all the information, articles or videos about this case, and we're going to be going through it this evening. We're going to be going through this, exploring some of the similarities, and we'll still do the grub truck on Sunday, but I think tonight and probably tomorrow we're going to be talking about this, and probably into next week too. Definitely want to learn more about this case, want to explore it more, and like I said, history repeats itself, and you can either learn in a negative or positive way from history. And just like these other podcasters in this episode here, that's what we're trying to do. It's about the truth. It's about exploring things that don't make sense and bringing light to it, and putting it out there. This is so sad.
Beautifully packaged, preserved, in excellent condition.
The hope that this evidence could be retested to show who was at the crime scene and who possibly killed Steve, Christopher, and Michael all those years ago.
We found the ligatures that we were looking for, and we assumed once we found this that the prosecutor would allow us to retest it.
Ligatures used to tie up the boys during the crime, in this case shoelaces, that could be tested with new technology to uncover DNA that couldn't be found before. The new technology, an MVAC machine that can extract DNA in smaller amounts. Eccles' attorneys say former prosecutor Scott Ellington with the state judicial district told them that if new evidence was uncovered, they would be able to retest it. But by the time of the discovery, Ellington was no longer the prosecutor, and the new one wasn't so willing to allow that.
Why? Why wouldn't
So
you?
Eccles and his team went to court again, fighting to get evidence retested. In June 2022, the judge said no, ruling that their petition did not apply to Eccles because he is not in state custody. Eccles and Jason Baldwin, one of the other West Memphis three, disappointed with the decision.
We have a way in our hands where they can see who killed those children, and they're refusing to do anything about it.
To test the evidence, to find who committed this crime, not only solves the case, but it begins real healing for us and all of our families.
So now Eccles finds himself in a familiar situation, one he had to do years ago when pleading his innocence to be freed from prison, going before the Arkansas State Supreme Court to have them rule on whether he can proceed.
Wow.
So now it's up to the Arkansas Supreme Court to decide whether to hear the case. That timeline remains uncertain. If they do, the court will decide whether or not that evidence should be retested, and it's a decision that many believe could help bring a close to this 30-year saga and closure to the families of Christopher, Michael, and Steve, as well as Damien, Jesse, and Jason, the West Memphis Three.
6 victims, not 3. 6 as well. 6 total. The 3 that were wrongfully incarcerated as well. Part of the Alfred plea. Man. I would love to have these people on too. This is crazy. Thank you, Pagan, for bringing this case to my attention. We're definitely going to be looking into it. Thank you. Yeah, roller coaster of emotions. Exactly 6. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be going into that this evening. Right, Josie. Whew. Evidence that was why wouldn't that the new prosecutor, why wouldn't they want to retest evidence? That makes no sense. All right, I am going to switch to Court TV here. I told you guys we were going to check out that Sarah Boone episode. I'm going to check out that one real quick, please. I'm going to have to change a serpentine belt and do some work on the vehicle between when my show's done. I'll probably go hang out in Dago show for a little bit, show some support. And then in between that and my show this evening, I got to be working on a car. So if you guys come across articles, videos, links, whatever, please email them to me. Send them to me on Twitter, evilcj@gmail.com. Here's all the links right there. If you want to send me the information, please do. And not really Discord right now. My Discord still isn't working on the computer. It is on the phone, but not on the computer. So if you can, send them to Gmail or Twitter for right now until I get that fixed. And then, yeah, we'll go into more of this stuff tonight. We'll be exploring it. And if, you know, if there's not much links, that's fine too, because I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff we can get into tonight. So we'll definitely be checking it out. DAs don't like to be proven, don't like to be wrong or proven wrong. Man. Yeah, we're going to look into this. We're going to keep looking into it too. All right, so let me switch to that Court TV episode with Sarah Boone. Then I'm going to go hang out on Dago for a little bit. We're going to be getting into the Mallory Beach case coming up into the future here soon too. It won't just be Idaho4 every night. We're going to be getting into all these different cases as well. So here's this Sarah Boone case, video from Court TV. And then I'm going to go ahead and end the show, hop on Dago's, work on my car, come back for tonight. We're going to be digging into this one too. So Court TV, I know I always got to turn that like halfway down. Otherwise your eardrums blow out. All right. So this is Sarah Boone's Bizarre Letters.
I'm Vinny Politan. Great to have you with us tonight here on Closing Arguments, talking about, off the top here, a story we've been covering since it happened. And when is it going to happen?
Yeah, this is crazy.
We're talking about the suitcase murder trial. Now, we've covered cases through the years where body parts have been found in suitcases, right? Someone commits a murder. They chop the body up. They put bodies, and then someone discovers them. They've got to figure out who's the victim, and then they literally have to put the pieces of the case together. That's not this trial. That's not this trial. This trial, the suitcase is the instrument of death. Perhaps you could call it the murder weapon. Sarah Boone and George Torres. There they are. They had a bit of a volatile relationship from time to time. I think there was some alcohol involved. Maybe they did some drugs. I don't know. But they had some problems. They weren't married, but they had some problems. But on this night, whatever was going on in that house, whatever they were doing, he ends up inside the suitcase. And it's zipped shut. Now, you can't zip it shut yourself, so she must have zipped the suitcase shut. Okay, maybe, I dare you, can you get in there? Whatever. But then he starts to struggle and he starts to panic and he needs to get out of the suitcase. And what does she do? Does she unzip him? No. She grabs, where is it? She grabs her cell phone and she starts recording and taunting him. Take a look.
This is horrible.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah. 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 Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
That's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Real or ransom. I want to get video for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Real or ransom.
Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you chewing on me.
Sarah.
You.
Breathe, Sarah.
Yeah. You should probably shut the up.
Sarah.
Okay. She doesn't let him out when she stops recording. No. She went to sleep, woke up the next day, waits till around noon or 1 o'clock to call 911 after calling her ex-husband first. He's dead. He's dead. And then, she had the whole story about playing hide and seek, etc. So this case, as I said, we've been covering since the beginning. We've had 12 trial dates. 12 times they've been delayed. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this case. Why is this happening? Usually, from my experience, when you have this many delays, there's something going on with the defendant. We know she's switched attorneys a bunch of times here. I think we're learning a lot more tonight as Ted Rowlands, Court TV anchor, goes through a bunch of letters written by Sarah Boone.
Ms. Boone, I'm going to send you back to the Orange County Jail. I'm going to get your lawyer in the courtroom so we can get to the bottom of what he has or has not done.
Sarah Boone is on her 6th attorney, public defender Frank Bankowitz. He was appointed to her in the summer of 2022. They had an in-person meeting, but soon after, Boone says he dropped the ball and has not been representing her fairly. She's written multiple letters to Bankowitz and to the judge in her case. This one was on November 3rd of 2022.
Honorable Judge Wooten, forgive me in advance for having to utilize your invaluable time, but after not having any form of communication with my attorney appointed by you, now after 11 weeks, after sending 4 letters to my attorney appointed by you with no response, I am still waiting with a perpetual question mark over my head. What else can I do? Who else can I seek help from? I have you and God, Judge Wooten.
Boone sent another letter to the judge on December 5th of the same year. In it, she alleged that she had only spent a total of 2 hours with her attorney in about 5 months.
Where's my attorney?
Boone also expressed concern about investigators releasing shocking video found on her cell phone where she taunts her boyfriend after zipping him into a suitcase.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me.
There's nowhere I am not known.
Just over a month later, after Bankowitz tried to withdraw as her attorney, she wrote to him again.
You must understand how insignificant I have been made to feel with the never-ending debacles, hurdles, and stumbling blocks. No one seems to listen, ever.
Then, on March 22nd,
why can I not be in attendance and participate in my pretrial conference? Help me understand, please. How can Court TV, different news channels, and even professional YouTubers attend my pretrial conference and I cannot? The same 2 phone numbers you've given me still do not work. The other number rings and rings and rings.
Boone's pleading and questions continue in her next 2 letters.
I am still waiting patiently and respectfully 6,480 hours later. 6 attorneys later, almost 3.5 years. My truth needs to be heard, and it is my right. At what point do you evaluate and intercede in a case to make sure there is proper advancement, regular communication, ethical treatment of client is being upheld, time frames are being met? Is a perpetual question mark over a defendant's head the norm during a case due to inactivity, no communication, no help or intervention, or answers being given by anyone in the justice system?
All right, let's bring in our think tank. Joining us tonight in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney Eklund Mercy. Also with us in Los Angeles, California, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. And in Phoenix, Arizona, the lawyer who represented Jodi Arias. He hates her more than you. Kirk Nurmi. All right, show of hands. Who wants to take Sarah Boone's case? Who wants her as a client? Oh, boy. What's going on here, Eklund?
Unfortunately, this happens so often. We have defendants who believe that the court is like TV, not court TV, but it's like the sitcoms, and they believe that things are happening fast and we have to talk about the case every day. And in actuality, you just can't afford that type of time. The public defender's office is swamped. The same representation that one client needs, everybody else needs. And with cases like this, the pretrial conference and all of that, it's essentially, when you're dealing with a trial like that, it's a hurry up and wait until it is around trial time, and all you get is face-to-face time with your client. That whole let's hold hands way before we even have a court date isn't feasible for a public defender.
Kirk Nurmi, you have a history with some high-maintenance clients, I think. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, What do you think's going on here? Is she getting the short end of the stick? Does she have something here? Is she a difficult client? 6 different lawyers.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely a difficult client, Vinny, and I don't think she is in any way, shape, or form getting the short end of the stick. What she's hearing is probably things that she doesn't want to hear. So she wants to keep interacting with her lawyer and thought that, something will change, right? And she's on her 6th now. So she's probably had 5 attorneys tell her that she doesn't have a winnable case and that she considered taking a plea agreement. We heard in court now they're searching for an expert, a domestic violence expert, and they can't find one because nobody wants to be associated with her. And I'm sure her attorney has informed her of just that, and that she has to wait until they can find an expert that is willing to take her case. She's not satisfied with that, so she's going to look for her 7th attorney. She's going to complain to the judge. She is high maintenance and certainly believes that she deserves something that other clients do not.
Another reason in the criminal justice system that it can be a little bit I don't want to say easier, but a little less stressful to be a prosecutor, Kirk. I mean, Nima. I'm sorry.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Eklund and Kirk are the experts on crazy clients. So fortunately, I've never had to deal with this, at least on the defense side, but I've handled enough cases to know that Sarah Boone is the common denominator. When you go through lawyer after lawyer, you got to start looking at the man or the woman in the mirror. I mean, you're the problem, certainly not the defense lawyers in this case. And obviously, it takes a special type of someone to kill her boyfriend and, record it and let him suffer a pretty cruel and horrific death. But someone like this, and we're actually seeing it right now in the case that's being covered on Court TV, the Border Patrol case, Burgos Avila. You have these criminal defendants that, are narcissistic. They think that they're the victim, even though they've engaged in these horrific crimes. So something we don't typically see, but I think we're seeing it with Boone in that other case.
Eklund, let me play a little bit of the body cam from this case. Here's Sarah Boone describing the incident.
The problem is I fell asleep. When did you do CPR? This morning, when I found it. Before you called? Yes! 1 o'clock right now. I tried. I was awake, but I actually got out of the bed at like 12:30ish, whatever. So I came downstairs, and I was like, oh, he's in the suitcase still.
She forgot she left him
It's
in the
all
suitcase,
about
Eklund.
It's all about excuses. That's what this woman is just about. I was done wrong. It's all about excuses, and she videotaped the shit herself. Videotaped it herself on her frickin' phone. And then you see that because we went through all this stuff. We went through the body cams. We went through the interrogation before. You even see in the interrogation when they know that they have her phone and that she recorded it, it was still deflection. Deflection. Somebody else's fault.
This is bad. This is bad. So it's so bad that any attorney trying to tell her how bad it is, she's not going to listen. In her mind, that explanation was sufficient. She's practiced that. That was something that she looked over and say, I'm gonna just say this and they're gonna understand me. Even you saw the pause with, oh my God, like it's bad. And she's thinking it'll take I don't care how good of an attorney you are, it's really bad. Everything that she did afterwards. And the hard part is it's her own doing. She's the one who talked to the police officers. Again, you have the right to remain silent. She's the one who made the video. She's the one who did it. So it's all on her. So the case is lost because of her own actions.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. And Kirk, Eklund makes a great point about
Horrible.
The defendant, taking photographs at the crime scene.
She was
right?
using that,
like,
Josie.
When you do that,
Not saying it didn't exist, but
clearly you're like handing the case
this
to the
right here,
prosecution. If you're
you record this right here,
recording
this is what
things
you were
like
doing
at the time of the killing.
Yeah, there's no doubt about
Well,
it. That doesn't help. And in this,
from when we were looking into it before, there was reports how it was a toxic relationship on both sides.
situation, when we can see the victim, we can hear his pleas. it's twice as bad, right? And we almost hear a confession of sorts on there. That's what it feels like when you choke me. That's why you cheat on me. Blah, blah, blah. And she's laughing at him, mocking him. It's unbelievable that she would take the time to record this and do this. So, yeah, I mean, this is really, this trial is going to be a long form guilty plea. Any lawyer can lose this trial in a day or two. It's not going to be that big a deal once it finally gets to trial. And she knows that. She's going to raise as big a stink as possible until she actually gets to trial.
Yeah, when it gets to trial, I can't tell you how many times I've done it. And the trial's coming up, and then it doesn't happen. So now it's like an ongoing thing. Like it keeps just getting delayed.
Yep.
But for George Torres's family, I mean, at some point, you got to have the trial. Gotta have the trial,
right? Give me 1 second. Gotta have the trial. Get rid of this banner. Come on, StreamYard. Oh boy. So, give me 1 second here. So please, if you have any information you want to share for this evening's show, I'm going to go ahead and put the notification up. It'll just be, I already got some things ready. It'll just be a couple minutes after the show's over that I'll have it up. So please make sure you hit the notification. Come back tonight. And I'm going to go hang out on Dago's show for a little bit. Then I got a serpentine belt to work on for the vehicle. And then I'm going to be back tonight. We're going to be discussing this W.Memphis 3. Phone lines will be open. Panel will be open. So if you want to come hang out, voice your opinions and everything else, you're more than welcome. So I'll see you in Dago. If I see you in Dago, I won't see you when I'm working on my serpentine belt, but I'll see you tonight. And we're going to end the show with a game or two, a deal or no deal. If we have some panel members up at the end of the show, or if somebody wants to hop in, I think it'll be cool to end the show on a Friday night with a couple deal or no deal games. And Sunday evening, it's the new game night on the Evil CJ show. So come hang out for that night as well. All right, everybody. Hope you all have a peaceful, positive afternoon. And I will see you at some point again today, if I see you. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. We'll see you in a little bit. And I do want to say thank you to SM for the super sticker. I'm sorry I missed that. And Devil Doll, thank you for becoming a new member. I'll definitely shout you out at the beginning of the next episode. Again, I apologize for missing those two things. See y'all. Thank you so much for your support.